Channel. Well, what do you know? Last year, Caitlyn Clark was the belle of the ball, the mascot in White Athletic Society, and yet all she does is tell the truth about black women's contribution in the WNBA, and all of a sudden, racist white society is literally demanding to revoke her white card. No, I'm not joking. The Black Channel is live. Unapologetic, unadulterated, and absolutely uncompromising. Greetings, brothers and sisters from around the world, and welcome back to the home, the haven, the stronghold, the everlasting superfortress of intelligent black thought. We are the Black Media, and this is the Black Channel. I am your host, your brother, your humble servant, the voice of Black America, the Black Authority, broadcasting to you live from the only historically black college and university of higher education and learning in the cosmos. You are, of course, welcome to join us. And join us you shall, because on tonight's program here, yes, in case you were not aware of it, with so much going on, I can understand why you wouldn't be there. So, a few things I want to touch on in this regard here. Few things I want to touch on, actually, here. So, Time Magazine is kicking up a whole bunch of dust here. They are kicking up a whole bunch of dust right now. Because, man, oh, man. Boy, some folks are out here. They don't know what to do. Some of the white supremacists feel like they got the wind at their backs. So they're like, hey, let's go ahead and push for everything. We're going for it all. Time Magazine gave out their Person of the Year, and none other than Donald Trump got that. Pretty good argument could be made for that, as a matter of fact. So it's kind of hard to argue in that regard there. And just to show you all that, by the way, in case you thought he was done, this just in on your screens here. This just in. The folks over there at MSNBC better watch their necks, guard your grill, because I have it on good authority that you are next. What? So in case you didn't know about it here, remember that lawsuit that Donald Trump said he was filing against ABC? Remember that? And all the folks over there who were giggling and, he filed a lawsuit. Forget about that. You're going to be in court. In case y'all didn't hear, ABC is going to apologize for what they've already got The View to apologize. Now they're going to have George Stephanopoulos apologize. Did they defame him? Yes, actually they did. By the letter of the law, yes, they did. So you don't settle for this kind of money. So in any case, he's got ABC down. Mark, folks, do you all understand this? Joe Scarborough and Mika Brzezinski slithered down to Mar-a-Lago. Justin Trudeau slithers down to Mar-a-Lago. Mark Zuckerberg slithers down to Mar-a-Lago. A week later, George Stephanopoulos and ABC are down on their knees begging for mercy. Folks, it's dominoes falling. I can't do anything but respect this. This is how you use power. This is what power is for, and this is how you use it. Right here. This is what folks, listen to me. The man ain't even in office yet. What? He's not even in office. He's sitting down there in Florida trying to figure out what color he wants the drapes in the White House to be. He's not even in office, people. Do you understand this? And everybody is falling into line. And all he did was just get elected. He's not even back yet. He's not in charge. He's not in power. He can't do anything. But here's the thing. Everybody knows that he does stuff. He hasn't done anything yet. But this is what happens when your word and your word is as good as your actions. Everybody's trying to brace for impact. Remember, down there in Florida, Governor Ron DeSantis took away Disney's special treatment down there, the Reedy Creek Improvement District. They took that away for a while. They gave it back to them, but under a kind of a reorganization. But they haven't forgotten that, yeah, these dudes really will give you the business. It's not going to be business as usual. They really will give you that work. Who owns ABC? Yikes, Disney. So Disney is like, man, look here. Tell George Stephanopoulos to shut the hell up. Get out there and apologize to him. I don't know if I want to do that. I mean, I said that in journalistic integrity. Look here, your journalistic integrity, get your ass on the street. You can either apologize to this man, or you can end up like Tucker Carlson. Damn. Those are your options. You can apologize, or you can end up like Tucker Carlson. Those are your options. So, folks, no games getting played. So the white supremacists feel like they got the wind at their backs. And with stuff like this happening, it's kind of hard to question. It's kind of hard to doubt it when stuff like this is happening. And folks, I'm talking about like on a weekend. I mean, in the middle of the weekend, I guess they thought this was the ultimate news dump. Hopefully nobody will pay attention. Man, folks gonna be talking about this for days, so forget about it. The blogs are gonna open up. All the YouTubers and stuff are gonna open up about this Monday morning. So, you got that. You got that. Boy, I'll tell you. They feel like they got the wind at their backs, and now they are brooking no foolishness. They are harboring no silliness. They're harboring no silliness now. So Time Magazine named Trump the man of the person of the year. They named him the person of the year, but he wasn't the only one. They also named Caitlyn Clark. Time Magazine named Caitlyn Clark. They went ahead and called her out too for Athlete of the Year. Oh, and there's some folks who didn't like that. There were some folks who did not like that, and they sent out their Gertrude attack dog. They sent out their aged out post-wall Gertrude attack dog who has been desperately trying to hang on to her seat. Remember, I told you all, Megyn Kelly was really kind of feminist hanging out there for a bit until she got kicked out of Fox and damn near got kicked out of the news industry altogether. And Megyn Kelly has not forgotten that. She has not forgotten that this is really her last chance. She's not going to get another one after this. So she is doing anything and everything she can to stay in good with the white supremacist male power structure. So another white female in a sport that Megyn Kelly knows not a damn thing about. Megyn Kelly knows nothing about basketball. Except maybe what she was probably doing back in college. But she knows nothing about basketball. Caitlyn Clark does. And Caitlyn Clark had a few choice words. I want to read to you from this article here from Glamour Magazine. Megyn Kelly didn't like what Caitlyn Clark had to say about her own experience of white privilege in the WNBA. What? Caitlyn Clark is talking about her life and what she's lived, and when she's saying this is what I've seen and what I've experienced, and Megyn Kelly's like, no, you're wrong. People, this is like asking somebody what their favorite color is. They tell you that their favorite color is blue, and you tell them you're wrong. How the hell can you be wrong about your own experience? I'll explain to you here in a few moments. Clark was named Time Magazine's Athlete of the Year, the article goes on to say, and in her profile interview said that the WNBA was built on black players. Duh! Quote, I want to say I've earned every single thing, but As a white person, there is privilege, she said. Okay, and water is wet. Now, we as black people are like, yeah, that's a given. But remember, you live in a system of white supremacy. And at this point right here, Caitlyn Clark has just broken the cardinal rule. She has just committed the cardinal sin. She is an enemy to white people till the day she dies. She waits until she is at her highest moment. She's on Time Magazine, your athlete of the year, in where the white supremacists feel like they have to wind at their backs. And you take this moment as an opportunity to say, by the way, white privilege exists. If white privilege exists, then white supremacy is real. She's white. She has nothing to gain by lying. That's the problem. Caitlyn Clark has nothing to gain by lying. So you can't really attack her in white supremacist society. They can't attack her the way they need to, because you can't say she's lying. You can't say that black folk bought her off. You can't say that she's doing anything other than telling her truth. So none of the usual attacks work. So, and make it worst of all, they spent all of the last 2 years with their bony little lips wrapped around her butt cheeks. Damn! Oh, it's too late now. Talk about the ultimate rug pull, the ultimate bait and switch. They spent the last couple of years pumping her up like an inner tube. Oh, she is the great white hope. She's the greatest female basketball player ever. Don't worry about the scores or the stats or anything. Don't worry about that. She's the greatest ever. Folks, they put all their chips on her. They went out and took out loans so they could go borrow money to go borrow chips to bet on her. They put the farm, the zoo, the circus, they put it all on her. They said, let it ride. They went all the way in. Ain't no turning around. Ain't no going back. And worst of all, she's the only one you got. Damn. There is no backup. Y'all rode for her. You all in. And there's no backup. There is no fallback position. She's the only one you got. Y'all either roll with Caitlyn or you go back to watching polo. Those are your options. You ain't got no third position. This is it. She's the only horse. She ain't even the only horse running. She's the only horse, period. You can take her or you can leave the damn sport. Those are your options. So people, they put all their chips on her. They made it very well known. She is the great white hope. She is our girl. She is our mascot. She is everything, and I'll be damned if she didn't sit up here and wait until she was on the biggest stage with the biggest spotlight with the most historical significance at the same time that Donald Trump is being named Person of the Year. Caitlyn Clark stops to tell you, by the way, she said, I want to say I've earned every single thing, but as a white person, there is privilege, she said. This is from the Mirror, since Glamour don't want to quote everything accurately here. She then says, a lot of those players in the league, she means the WNBA, that have been really good have been black players. This league has kind of been built on them. Kind of been. Girl, that's like saying the sun kind of rose this morning. So she sat right there and put it on the bricks and said, the black women built this thing. Oh, here comes Megyn Kelly, who the only thing she could do at a basketball game is be mistaken for the damn pole that the goal is on. That's all she could do at a basketball game. Or do her best Crypt Keeper impersonation in the stands. Megyn Kelly finds her bony skeletal fingers to Twitter. I don't know if she was in the bathroom adjacent to Donald Trump or not. I don't know if she was, but she said, look at this. Now, this is somebody else here, this Eric Daugherty guy. I don't know who the hell this is. They upset because they got Caitlyn Clark on the cover of Time magazine. And boy, after all this hyping her up, after all this backing her, caping for her, everything else, oh, it went ugly. Megyn Kelly said, look at this. She's on the knee, all but apologizing for being white. What? Folks, what the hell? This is what we mean by white privilege. I'm white and I say so. The woman didn't say anything even remotely close to this. She's on the knee. On the knee? She was giving a damn interview. She was just named Athlete of the Year. This is on your knees? All but apologizing for being white and getting attention. The self-flagellation. The, oh, please pay attention to the black players who are really the ones you want to celebrate. Condescending, fake, transparent, sad. Oh, y'all, Megyn crashed out. Megyn crashed all the damn way out. A woman who the only thing she's got in common with a basketball is if you deflate the both of them, they both look about the same naked. What? That's about the only similarity she has to the game of basketball. But she found her way to Twitter to say this. I mean, to sit up here and make up the most egregious fiction she could possibly commit to words. She's on the knee. On the knee. I'm pretty sure she was sitting giving her interview. I'm pretty sure she was. All but apologizing for being white. She literally just said that I've earned every single thing. She's apologizing for being white. So this lets you know the white supremacist, Megyn, remember that's why you lost your job at NBC. Remember? That's why you lost your job. Had a big fat paycheck coming in, although you couldn't deliver any ratings either. So between those two things right there, yeah, no reason to keep you around. And now you're reminding people, you and Donald Trump and the rest of the right wingers, you all are supposed to be worried about the economy. You're supposed to be worried about making sure that there is a 2028 for you. You all are acting like you won 80% of the American vote. You barely won 50%. Barely. And instead of you being focused like a laser beam and being as unconfrontational and not reminding people of the white supremacists you are, you can't help yourselves. So just like the Democrats sat up here and couldn't help themselves, they started snatching defeat from the jaws of victory. You guys aren't even in the White House and you're already doing it. When you should be focused on the mission at hand, the job at hand, and ensuring that you can actually have a 2028. You're sitting up here hitting the bong and telling yourselves, like I said, been saying to you all for the last few weeks, they're literally telling themselves that the rest of the country loves white supremacy. And that we would love some white supremacy. It's just some white supremacy. They love that. That's what they tell them. In the chat room, Georgia boy, very glad you said that right there. Very glad you said that. Let me go ahead and get Zoom up and going here for you. Wouldn't want you to miss out on anything here, so very interesting comment. Let me go ahead and get Zoom fired up for you. Since obviously you have some insights to give, and I'm going to make sure that you give them. So, Georgia boy, we'll get to you here momentarily. But before I do that, I do want to go ahead and show you all what they've been saying. Oh, just in case you didn't know what was going on. The 720 degrees of analysis that you receive absolutely nowhere else. Now, there's a lot of things that you could do, people. A lot of things you could do, but you can all see, oh, they're upset with her. And some of the Negro coons out there doing their thing. If you go to Twitter and you type in Caitlyn Clark woke, you didn't even need any help figure. You know your white supremacist code words. You know your white supremacist code terms. So if you go to Twitter and type in Caitlyn Clark woke, now they're using the word woke in reference to a white person. Okay, thank you for admitting that woke is one of your white supremacist nigger code words. So in other words, Caitlyn Clark, you are being condemned for being a nigger lover. Oh, you love them niggas. So this is the code word that's, hey, y'all are woke. They're woke. Now, there's one person who was acknowledging the racism out there for that, but you go to these other folk. This guy here has 265,000 followers. Caitlyn Clark has gone woke and is now defending her vile comment where she said white people have privilege. The WNBA was already a failure, but at least there was Caitlyn Clark to give it a glimmer of hope. Now it's clear that Clark is just another lame tool of the far left. People, they are losing their damn minds. They're losing their minds. Caitlyn Clark has gone woke by publicly apologizing for her white privilege. Now, remember what I just told you. These are white supremacists. White supremacists lie. She didn't apologize for anything. She never apologized. But remember, ordinarily, you're supposed to get your ass sued for defamation. You're supposed to face some consequences because you have freedom of speech. You don't have freedom to lie. Freedom of speech does not mean freedom to lie. Caitlyn Clark did not apologize at any point. At no point has she apologized to anyone. And yet, Megyn Kelly said this lie. She started it. Now, she said it in a way in which she could legally defend herself. She's on the knee, all but apologizing, because Megyn understands you fat enough. I mean, figuratively speaking, because literally, no, never. But you know that your assets are juicy enough that you're worth suing. So she makes sure to couch her words carefully. Some of these other folks out here who are not so bright, not so smart, they're sitting up here saying the most incendiary things and just hoping that the worst doesn't happen. Ain't that right, George Stephanopoulos? So this guy is saying that she's publicly apologizing, even though I just read for you what she said, and there was no apology. She didn't apologize, but they're saying this anyway because their goal is to slander you and to lie about you and to villainize you, and that hopefully they don't get sued, and that if they do get called out, well, people will believe this long before you get there. Long before you get there. That's the point. It's not accidental. Not accidental. Please keep that in mind. This young lady obviously has a weak character. My respect for her has diminished substantially. Sad. Very sad. Y'all loved her last year. You don't get to get up and walk away from that. You don't get to get up here and disown her. You all backed her only because she was white. If this were about her playing ability, you should shut the hell up and have nothing to say and say, well, she's just an athlete and we back her playing ability and that's it. No, she was a social cause for you. That's why you're sitting here with egg and sewage on your face. You backed her because she was white. And you were going to use that as your battering ram. You didn't give a damn about if she could play, how she could play. All you saw was an opportunity to promote whiteness because you see an area where you feel like white people have been removed and erased, and there's no way you can lie and say that they're the most important, most powerful people there. And she represents asserting yourselves, and now it's like, oh hell, you can't even stand behind that anymore. I mean, you can back her, but if you do, you're gonna have to back blackness. They just said, oh hell no. So just that quickly, just all for her telling the truth, just that quickly. Caitlyn Clark receives the annual Woke Award for bending the knee and being ashamed of her whiteness. So what this tells you is that when individuals like Megyn Kelly say things like this, she's on the knee, all but apologizing for being white. These folks are echoing what they heard from Megyn. Bending the knee and being ashamed of her whiteness. What it tells you is they don't even know what the hell she said. They didn't even actually read the interview. They didn't actually read the interview. All they know is Megyn Kelly said this, and they're all falling in line and getting on code. This is racial. And they feel bad because they already built her. What? You already built her. You can't take the shine now. It's too late for that. Folks, do y'all remember she's gotten her endorsements? She's gotten her deals. She's gotten her contracts. Baby, the ink been dry on them contracts. How you gonna pull it back now? The ink has been dry. You gonna have to live with this. It's too late now. You gave her not just her white card, but her credit card. And she is swiping the hell out that damn thing. Too late now. People, white supremacists are not master strategists. They're not master strategists. They sat up here and already done gave her the bag. Now they have buyer's remorse. Because she was supposed to stay on code. That was the issue. Originally, I was thinking maybe Caitlyn Clark was something special. Turns out she's just one more stupid woke. Oh, look at this. Huh? Racist and homophobic. Racist and homophobic. Oh, boy. Take a look at what he's mad about, y'all. Now, here's what he's mad about her saying. I want to say I've earned every single thing, but as a white person, there is a privilege, says Clark. A lot of those players in the league that have been really good have been black players. This league has kind of been built on them. The more we can appreciate that, highlight that, talk about that, and then continue to have brands and companies invest in those players that have made this league incredible, I think it's very important. I have to continue to try to change that. The more we can elevate black women, that's going to be a beautiful thing. Oh, Caitlyn, you have made enemies for life with that. Oh, they gonna fight tooth and nail to get you to walk that one backwards. Folks, she didn't say nothing but the damn truth. Now, let's be very, very clear. In white supremacist society and Megyn Kelly, they always want to talk about the founding fathers, George Washington, Thomas Jefferson, the founding fathers, and how it doesn't matter if they were brutal rapists and killers and mass exterminationists, genocidal maniacs, doesn't matter what it was. Well, that was just history, and you need to show some respect to the people who built this thing. Well, Caitlyn Clark is showing respect to the black people who built this thing. Exactly the exact same thing that Ron DeSantis and Megyn Kelly and all the alt-right MAGA white supremacists been saying all this time. Well, Caitlyn Clark is doing it here. She's showing respect to the foundation. She is showing respect to the founders and the foundation. Which is exactly what all these alt-right white supremacists have been saying you need to do for the founders. Just ignore everything else and show respect to the folk who built this. Okay, she's showing respect and props to the folk who built this. They mad as hell. We're white and we say so. Oh, wait a minute. Rule change. You just said respect the founders. Damn them founders. Okay, well, keep that energy. No, just respect the white ones. And only the ones we tell you. And only when we tell you. Folks, this is what she said that drove them nuts. I just read to you the whole thing. You want to know why Megyn Kelly is mad as hell? I just read to you what Caitlyn Clark said. Oh, they're out of their minds. They're beside themselves. They're out of their minds and beside themselves. How many years away are we from the Caitlyn Clark Netflix special? So they're already sitting up here wishing for her downfall, Popeye Vasquez, by the way. Now, this is from another suspected white supremacist here, Patrick Bet David. He was on his YouTube show. They were sitting up here talking about this. I want to play just some of it because there's some parts on here I want us to review.
While the three-time MVP Aja Wilson claimed Clark's race was a huge contributor to her popular way for success during an appearance on SNL, despite her unprecedented accomplishments, including all the records that she had. So rookie season, criticism arose over her popularity. Golden State North Carolina suggested that her stardom reflects the Great White Hope Syndrome. Okay, it's what they called her. And while the three-time MVP Aja Wilson claimed Clark's race was a huge contributor to her popularity, it doesn't matter what we all do as black women. We're still going to be swept underneath the rug. Adam, I'm going to come to you first.
Look, we had this conversation, I don't know, 3 months ago, 6 months ago, during the WNBA season, and I was like, yeah, I don't give a shit. She's been catapulted to this amazing star. By the way, you know how many championships she won in college? 0. She's 0 for 2. She didn't win. Is she a good player? Sure. The WNBA is a zombie company that loses money year in and year out. I actually have good news.
What?
They were projected to lose $50 million this year. But because of Caitlyn Clark and all her great success, they only lost $40 million this year.
Hey.
Yeah, by the way, for the folks out there who want to act like, Caitlyn Clark is just this great money-driving machine, don't worry, Georgia boy, just calm down. We'll have you up here in just a few moments. Won't you just pipe down. We'll have you up here in just a few moments, and you just calm your horses. You'll be here in a few moments, and if you're not, you'll be gone. But by the way, already he's pointing out, it's like, she wasn't that great to begin with. Now, here's the thing. That wasn't the way y'all were talking last year. Now, all of a sudden, that's what they're saying. Now they're saying that. Isn't that amazing? Take a look at how quickly they done flipped. And this is what I'm white and I say so means. They're going to tell you that exactly everything they've been saying this whole damn time doesn't matter. None of that matters now. They've been saying this now going on 2 years. None of it matters, though. You don't get to say, reality is what we tell you it is today. But you've been saying this for the last 2 years. Yeah, well, reality's changed now. It doesn't matter. She wasn't that great. The league is no good. It's not, because she just got named Athlete of the Damn Me Year off of you all hyping her for the last couple of years. Don't matter. But wait a minute. There's more.
Amazing.
There
Great job, Caitlyn. Thank you. So there it is. They lost $40 million. Name me a company that continually loses money. Let's give her a trophy because we only lost $10 million less than we expected. It's an absolute joke. It's absolutely absurd. Will she be a great WNBA player? Sure. I don't give a shit. If I actually want to see her actually warrant her merit, put her in the NBA. Have her play against Steph Curry. Have her play against LeBron. Have her play against Kevin Durant. Have her play against the greatest players in the world.
What? Okay, folks, this is what happens. Oh, when whiteness fails, you just start saying weird stuff, man. You just start saying weird things. This will be the same guy who'll sit up here and tell you that women should not be competing against men in sports. Biological men should not be competing against biological women in sports. And then he literally turns around because now Caitlyn has said something that he can't really defend. Now he's like, she needs to go play the men. Folks, this is I'm white and I say so. This is the disease of white supremacy. The disease of white supremacy is we can say whatever crazy, outlandish thing we want to. It doesn't matter how childish, how infantile, how irrational, how stupid it is. If we feel like saying it, this is what reality is now. This guy will be on Patrick's program tomorrow talking about biological men should not be playing sports against biological women. That's why I'm going out of my way to preserve this clip. So any of you folks, if you ever find yourself on Patrick's show or anything like that, if it ever happens, folks, there's a reason why people like me cannot go there. Hell, Patrick couldn't even hold his damn own against Rolling Ball Martin. Now there's a black mark against you. He got host slapped around by Roland Martin, of all people. Dude just needs to go and host a game show or something. When you lose a debate to Roland Martin, you shouldn't be allowed to speak with your tongue anymore. You should be required to do sign language the rest of your life. But in any case, dude said this, but he doesn't stop and just be smart and quit talking. Because they don't ever think it's wise. They think that they're so brilliant that whatever they say, folks will just roll with it. So they don't realize when it's time to shut up. And that maybe you said something stupid and you could possibly say something even dumber. And he does.
I actually want to see her actually warrant her merit. Put her in the NBA. Have her play against Steph Curry. Have her play against LeBron. Have her play against Kevin Durant. Have her play against the greatest players in the world. Then show me what she does. The WNBA is a zombie company that is subsidized by who?
Lesbians.
The NBA. Yes, it is, I think, a 70% lesbian
Vinny,
league.
your thoughts.
But that's all good. But by the way, let me just address the racist thing right now, because that's part of it.
I just have
okay,
to, Rob.
The whole notion that she's just been given white privilege. Really? Okay. Tell that to the greatest black female athletes of all time. Tell that to Serena Williams, the greatest female tennis player of all time. Tell that to FloJo or Jackie Joyner-Kersee, the greatest track and field athletes of all time. Tell that to Lisa Leslie or Diana Taurasi, the WNBA players, greatest players of all time. Tell that to the greatest gymnast of all time, Simone Biles. It's absolute ridiculous.
All right, folks. So he could have just stopped where he was. What they hope is that you don't know what the events actually are. That's the issue. They're hoping you don't actually know anything about this stuff. So when they start rattling off this garbage, that you just think, oh, well, maybe there's something true about it right there. What he just said, all of it's false.
That's a FloJo or Jackie Joyner given white privilege. Really? Okay. Tell that to the greatest black female athletes of all time. Tell that to Serena Williams, the greatest female tennis player of all time.
Okay, let's talk about Serena Williams. Now, y'all know full damn well he done messed wrong this time. Let's talk about Serena Williams. Have absolutely no problem whatsoever doing that, although he should. Serena Williams, you want to talk about white privilege? Well, of course, in tennis, you can't say white. You spell white privilege Maria Sharapova. Damn! That's how you spell white privilege in tennis. My little dumb, ignorant friend. Maria Sharapova. I want to read something to you all here. Little stats here. Maria Sharapova started her professional career in 2001. Keep that in mind. She went on to win 5 Grand Slam titles. She ranked on Forbes' list of the highest paid female athletes as the highest paid female athlete for 11 straight years until she was dethroned by Serena Williams in 2016.
What?
8 years ago, people. Not even a full decade. She was the highest paid female athlete up until 8 years ago. And then she retired in 2020. She's still earning big bucks thanks to endorsements. But then again, that's how she was mostly getting it. Because the greatest player in the world, Serena Williams, the youngest, for those of you who didn't know, of the legendary Williams sisters, Serena made her professional debut at 14 when she won the U.S. Open back in 1999.
What?
Wait a minute. Maria Sharapova started her professional career in 2001, but Serena Williams won the U.S. Open in 1999, becoming the first African-American woman of the Open era to bag the title. Did you all get that? She won the U.S. Open back in 1999. She didn't become the highest paid player until 17 years later. Do the math here, folks. Maria Sharapova was the highest paid female athlete for 11 years. That means from 2005 until 2016. And I'm yelling it because nobody else is telling it. And because YouTube gives millions of dollars, they shadow ban our channels and suppress it because these are outright lies being told by the channels that have been boosted in the algorithm, blown up and promoted in the algorithm by a multi-billion-dollar multinational corporation. And these are the lies that get told over there on Patrick Bet-Davis' program that a simple Google search would debunk. What about white privilege? Yeah, Serena Williams had to deal with white privilege. She sure did. She wins the U.S. Open in 1999, but Maria Sharapova is still being paid, even though she was not the best tennis player for basically the whole, after Serena Williams came to prominence, for the next 20 years. Maria Sharapova was not the best tennis player for the next 20 years, but she got paid the most money for most of that 20 years. 16 of those 20 years, she was paid the most money, even though she was not the second or third best player. The best player did not get paid the most money. The white one did.
And deal with it, nigga.
And this guy is sitting up here on YouTube lying, or if he's too lazy to have looked this up, he just wants it to be real. Well, I'm white. If I say that you didn't have to overcome any white privilege, there is no white privilege. Now I just showed you all, there it is. Very simply put. And by the way, those of you who listen to the Black Channel now for the last going on 2 decades, you already knew this. Most of us already knew this because I told you about this a decade ago. I talked about the fact that, remember, Maria Sharapova was doing ads for Porsche, remember? She was doing ads for Porsche. And Serena Williams was doing ads for Damn Me the Mini Cooper. So Volkswagen and Porsche were paying Maria Sharapova endorsement money. Serena Williams couldn't get no Porsche endorsement money. They gave that to Maria, white privilege. Serena, the greatest in the world, is having to do Cooper Mini commercials. You can go look those commercials up on YouTube right now if you want to. You can go look them up. And even though the commercial that Serena did was tongue-in-cheek, the point is, wait a minute. That says a hell of a whole lot. Maria Sharapova is standing next to a Porsche, and Serena Williams, the greatest in the world, is standing next to a damn Mini Cooper that might not make it out the damn parking lot at Piggly Wiggly? And Patrick Bet-David and friends will not talk to you about this. They don't remember this, or they're just lying and pretending, hoping that nobody points it out. But I just want to let you all know, if you didn't have the black media here to remind you of what we've been documenting now for over a decade, these folks would pretend it never happened. So if you don't go and Google who were the highest paid players, and then you see Maria Sharapova, and fortunately South China Magazine here had put in there, by the way, she was the top paid athlete until 2016. She started her career in 2001. She retired in 2020. So the majority of those 19 years, she was the highest paid female athlete, even though she was only second or third best. That is white privilege. That is how Caitlyn Clark can come out of obscurity and be getting tens of millions of dollars in contracts. And the sin that she committed was telling the truth. Caitlyn Clark is being demonized by racists out there because she is off code. And what does being off code mean, brothers and sisters from around the world? Off code as a white person simply means acknowledging white supremacy. You are never, ever supposed to say that white supremacy exists. Never. That's the only reason that white supremacy is able to continue surviving, because everyone pretends that it's not there. When it's so damn pervasive and all-encompassing, you can't escape it on a daily basis. So you are off code. How dare you? After what they're thinking to themselves is, how dare you after everything we gave you? And then you weaponize it against us and acknowledge that, oh yeah, by the way, this white privilege. Yeah, I'm the only white face here, and I was boosted because I'm white. Yeah, what the black folk over there are saying is true. That's the sin that she's committed. That is the unforgivable blasphemy that she has committed. A white person who was given what they got and then turns around and acknowledges, yeah, it's good to be white. Because if I were black, I wouldn't be getting this. And folks, she's not the only one. And remember, the whole point about white supremacy is pretending it doesn't exist. These clowns, Patrick Bet-David, and they know damn well they would not be where they were if they're black. If they were black, they would not be where they are, period. Because the system is rigged against us and rigged in your favor. So they already know this. He wants to go name other names, by the way. Folks, remember in basketball, for those of you who don't remember, Michael Jordan was the greatest basketball player ever. He was also not the highest paid. What? My basketball heads know that. Stand up, my basketball heads. When Jordan was playing, for most of his career, was Michael Jordan the highest paid player? Once he started winning his championships, was he still the highest paid player? Or was there somebody else? You might want to go look up who it was. Because Jason might be just lying through all this. You might want to go look up who it was. See, this is the way it always goes. You're the best performer. You're the highest performer. But when we gonna break this bread, when we gonna break down this brick, it's going a different way. Ain't that right, Kelsey brothers? Damn! Does anybody think that the Kelseys, well, Kelseys, are the best football players in the damn league? Think about that for a few moments. And yet, take a look at the pay bump. When you compare performance to pay, take a look at the damn pay bump. We already covered that. And that's what you're always running up against. You're always running into that. Always. That's not accidental. Not at all. It's there for a damn reason. These folks play stupid about these things, not because they don't know it. Their job is, look, stay on code, tell the lie. And if these folks don't know what it is, then damn it, don't tell them. If they don't know, don't tell them. Yeah, we're lying, but if they don't know it, if they haven't figured it out, don't tell them. Jason, you lying. Let me take your ass to NFL.com. I'll be damned. Jason, did you bring receipts? Hell no. I didn't bring receipts. I brought invoices. I don't just tell you what you paid. I tell you what you owe. Ladies and gentlemen, direct your eyes to the screen. NFL.com. You want to talk about from the source? Ranking the NFL's biggest contracts for 2024. Well, at the top of the list, you see Dak Prescott. I see you over there. See. Mr. White Supremacist. We ain't gonna just stop there. Dak might be number one. Who's number two? Damn. Okay. Who's number three? Damn. Because Jacksonville has had such a great season, by the way. Jacksonville's had such a great season. Who's number four? Damn. Cincinnati is doing great. Tua Tagovailoa. Okay, Miami. All right. Hello, Mr. Goff. Damn. We all know the Detroit Lions. Is it still Comerica Field, y'all? Is it still Comerica Field? Is Comerica Field still a thing? I haven't checked to go see if it is, but if Comerica Field is still a thing, this is the mascot. Just thought I'd throw it out there. Damn! Mr. Justin Herbert of the Los Angeles Chargers. $52 million. I bet you he's worth every penny. Okay, folks say it's Ford Field now. All right. It's Ford Field. All right. If I got my parks mixed up, you know Jason is terrible about sports. That's why I got to go look it up and Google it, because I'm not dumb enough to sit up here and say, I know that. I can be bothered to Google, and if you dare to do so, I'll be damned. Lamar Jackson with Baltimore, Jalen Hurts, Kyler Murray. Hello, Mr. Cousins, over there in Atlanta. Damn! All right. Over there in Atlanta. Mr. Allen. Mr. Stafford. Mr. Jones. Mr. Rogers, because all my New York Jets fans, y'all know full damn well. Okay, let me just have a brief pause right here for a moment, a brief interlude. For those of you who are not aware, New York Jets fans are on suicide watch this year. New York Jets fans are on suicide watch. And this guy on the screen is the reason why, between him and the damn coach. My Jets fans, it's never been easy being a Jets fan. It's never been easy, but the last year has, brutal is not the word. Torturous, agonizing, excruciating. Brutal is not a good enough word. It's not, that word doesn't work. And if you're a Jets fan, the person you see on your screen has spiked your blood pressure and sent your blood to boiling. Oh yeah, and one more thing. He's getting $37 million to mess up y'all's damn team. What? He's getting paid $37 million to destroy your team. So you might think that he's doing a terrible job, he's getting $37 million to do this. $37 million. Go take a look at the Jets Twitter page, y'all. Go take a look at their Twitter page. Yeah. We know about him and MAGA. But just thought we'd throw this out there. About, you want to talk about white privilege? $37 million. And my Jets fans, or people who live in the New York area, if you even superficially know about sports. Okay, I mean, the head coach is gone. What about him? So the head coach is the problem, but Aaron's all right? Aaron Rodgers is doing a great job. Head coach got to go. But Aaron's doing a great job. Really? Okay. Folks, $37 million. All I can say is if you're a Jets fan, take a look at his performance on the field and just understand he got $37 million for doing that. Could you keep your job pushing buggies at Costco if your performance looked like Aaron Rodgers? You missing the damn buggies. You can't get them back in the damn cart stall. The carts are running down the damn street. You can't catch none of them. So just imagine that. If your job pushing carts at Albertsons was the same as his as quarterback, could you keep your job? Much less get $37 million. Could you imagine, like, every time he comes back and they take him into the office, like, well, you know what? We need to discuss your pay here. I think we're gonna. You're not doing very well, so we're gonna go ahead and bump your pay up a little bit for you. See if that helps you take some of the pressure off. Come on now. So I just want to take a moment here to remind folks for my New York people, for those of you who don't know what's happening in the New York football scene up there and whatnot, for the Jets, we come a long way from Joe Namath. I mean, a long way down. It's not good. It's not good. And just to remind them, he's getting $37 million for that. $37 million. Failing upward? Are you kidding? $37 million. 37. Oh, here's a good one. Derek Carr of the New Orleans Saints, another $37 million. Damn. Now, I live in Louisiana, and I'm just telling you right now, it's just we are currently discussing demolishing the Superdome, or at least renaming it so it can only perform weddings and demolition derby. Because it damn sure isn't doing football games. It's damn sure not doing NFL football games. So we're going to see if we can turn the Superdome into the world's biggest Krispy Kreme store. Because football ain't what it's doing. We don't know what the hell they got going on up in there, but it's not football. It's something else. No, we're not even doing paper bags anymore, people. We're not even doing paper bags anymore. We're just doing full-body burkas. We're just wrapping ourselves in garbage bags now. We're not even doing paper bags anymore. They got tired of cutting down the damn trees. No. You know those clothing bags, those garment bags you have? We're putting those on now. Just a bunch of niggas walking down the streets wearing garment bags, just hopping around like damn me Grimace and just a bunch of feet walking. Damn these paper bags, Mike Terrence. So, by the way, $37 million. $37 million. Russell Wilson was at least offered a $1 million contract on top of all that extra damn money he stole out of Denver. In New Orleans, here you go, son, $37 million. Here you go. I know we're right. Minnesota Vikings, $35 million for Justin Jefferson. He can actually play some. CD Lamb, I don't know about him. Nick Bosa, San Francisco, who vouching for him? Who's vouching for Nick Bosa? Who's vouching for Nick Bosa? He getting $34 million. Okay. Tampa Bay, 33. How much was Brady getting? How much was Brady getting? This guy's getting $33 million. How much is Brady getting? How much is Brady getting? So they got Philadelphia. You got some of the other folks here. This when we start getting into the Negro leagues. You get the Negro leagues down there. But what I'm saying is, by the way, okay, who vouching for Daniel? New York Giants. I want to know who vouching for him. Los Angeles. Do you love your lives right now? Los Angeles Rams fans, your man getting $40 million a year. Do you love your life right now? I'm asking for a friend. Y'all, you must love life in Los Angeles because he getting $40 million. So it got to be good. Buffalo Bills, did you even know they still had a team? The Buffalo Bills still have a team, and their quarterback is getting $43 million. Let me get that straight. The quarterback of the Buffalo Bills is getting more money than the quarterback of the Rams, the quarterback of the Giants, the quarterback of the Jets, the quarterback of the Saints. The quarterback of the Bills is getting more money than them. He must be having a better season than them. He must be doing great. Okay, I'll see him in the Super Bowl. I will see him in the Super Bowl. Then he must be. Now Patrick, you know about Patrick. So all right, Atlanta. By the way, this pose right here was. Oh, all right. No offense, sir. It looks like deer in the headlights. So you should have had all these pictures burned. I did this just to show you a point. By the way, you might be able to justify some of these. Ain't no white privilege going on here, right? So there's no white privilege going on here at all. None. So this is all merit. This is all merit-based, is what you're telling me. Okay. It's all merit-based, y'all. Jason is exaggerating. It's all merit-based. All right. Detroit Lions fans. I don't know. Did I mess? Are the Lions going to the Super Bowl this year? I didn't know. Are they going to the Super Bowl this year? They must be. Okay. Somebody says the Lions going to the Super Bowl this year. All right. Hell going to freeze over. I want to make sure we keep all the folk up in here. By the way, everybody who says the Lions are going to the Super Bowl, just remember you're putting comments in there. All right. Everybody who thinks the Lions are going to the Super Bowl, put the lion emoji in the chat room. Go ahead and stand on it. Stand on it. Don't back down now. Stand on it. If you think the Lions are going to the Super Bowl, put the lion emoji in the chat room. Nigga, stand on it. Don't back down now. Stand on it. Go ahead and throw it out there. Go ahead and put all on the damn line. Either do that or shut the hell up. Put it on out there. Some of them daring to do it. Some of them they real iffy about it. Like I don't never want to do that. This. Put that damn line up there. Talking big noise a minute ago. Put that line up there so we can lead this program up so we can come back and check on these. We're going to come back and check on them. The little Jared Goff would say he'll be the highest paid player in history if he pulls that one off. So he'll earn that one. In any case, no white privilege nowhere. It's no white privilege anywhere. Don't worry about it. So my whole point right here is, by the way, that's just women's tennis. That's just the NBA. That's just the NFL. Folks, what about entertainment, period? Eminem acknowledged it. You see, as black men, even though in the new black media, I had to kind of sit up here and whip on niggas about it. But I said, you got to hold the line. Stop trying to be a damn fan and stop letting MTV tell you who's hot. If you allow him to do this, next thing you know, they're going to erase the rest of us. Eminem had to acknowledge who it was that he showed respect to. That's the reason why we still have something resembling a rap and hip hop industry that serves our interests even to a tertiary degree. Shout out Kendrick Lamar. Because we didn't just hand it over. Eminem acknowledged what everybody knows. If Eminem were black, he'd be Twista. If Eminem were black, he'd be Tech Nine. If Eminem were black, he'd be, Tyler the Creator. That's who he'd be. If Eminem were black, he would be one of them. He'd be doing a bunch of fast talking, rapping and whatnot and talking about some off-wall stuff, but that's all he'd be. The majority of rap music customers are white kids. And Dre picked up Eminem because everybody knows that's where the damn white money is. We realized that. Really, we realized it before Vanilla Ice. Vanilla Ice was just confirmed it. We knew it before then. When he hopped his flicked ass out there. And then after that, it was a relentless search for the next bag. But it wasn't based on no damn extraordinary talent. So we went from Vanilla Ice to Terry B to Third Base to Snow to a bunch of other also-rans I can't even remember nor name. And their claim to fame was simply being white. They got graded on a damn curve. Beastie Boys, oh my goodness. That's really where it began. Yeah, it really began with Beastie Boys, who, by the way, they wasn't rappers. Stop it. The Beastie Boys weren't rappers. They were like a rock band. They weren't rappers. They were a rock band. Oh, yeah, by the way, shout out Kid Rock. You see that happen over and over again. A bunch of white dudes who really were going in a different direction, but then they glummed on to what we were doing and called it that, and then next thing you know, they had an audience. So let's please be clear about that. Yeah, Beastie Boys, House of Pain, Kid Rock, what's his name? Tommy Richmond. What? Shout out to Brent Faze. Shout out to Brent Faze and $1 Million Baby. But let's just keep it on the bricks. Yeah, Marky Mark, we can go down the damn list. Every white person that they tried to say was a rapper, they came in as something else and then glummed on to what we were doing and then called themselves rappers, but we never did. They called themselves rappers, but we never did. Their fans showed up and bought their music, but we never did. Their only claim to fame was being white. That's it. And that's why when they try to put out something that isn't associated with us, it don't move no units. When they try to put out a pure play something, it don't work. Their stuff only worked when they were standing next to us. But when they actually tried to make their stuff float on its own, it didn't work. Didn't work. But they all had to acknowledge that. Third Base, all the rest of them. Eminem, what's his name? Jack Harlow, Post Malone. You go down the list. We have required all of them to make sure we keep this history straight. You're not going one damn step further until you acknowledge the foundation. And we don't have to be nice about it. Macklemore, we can go down the list. Everybody got to do it. Everybody got to do it. We're not doing this the way they did the damn hair care industry and gave that up. We ain't doing that. As black men, we ain't doing that. Everybody got to acknowledge it. We're going to do a paperwork check. Here you come out here on the yard. Now we don't want to hear the yo, yo, yo and attaboy and on my block and bibbidi bop. We ain't trying to do none of that paperwork check, punk. What set you claiming who you riding with? You got to show respect. And you gonna have to say it outright in no uncertain terms. That's how we kept this thing within our cultural context. We require everyone to do that. And as time has gone on, we've gotten more hardline about it. Which is why, to this day, when we roll up, they got to show respect. Nobody's going to just walk up and snatch this out of our hands and take this from us and claim they run it now. Ain't happening. Because white privilege is a real thing, and we know full damn well if we let you sneak off by your damn self, you're going to come back through the back door and you'll be selling us something that we created. We created it. We made it. We do it 10 times better than you. You snuck out the damn front door, came in the back door, and now you're selling us our own a watered down, diluted, far lesser version of our own creation. And now you're the source for it? Oh, hell no. So everybody got to do a paperwork check. Everyone. Because white supremacy is real. And white privilege is real, and it is not up for debate. You run into it all the time. And that is why they are mad as hell at Caitlyn Clark. The good news for Caitlyn Clark is it's too damn late. She can afford to tell the truth now because it's already too late. They already gave her shine. They already gave her money. And next season, what you gonna do? What are you going to do next season? Let me tell y'all, they going to be back. They going to be back. They going to be crying. They going to be complaining. But they're going to be back rooting for her. They don't have a choice. They don't have a choice. But man, they going to be mad as hell. They going to be mad as hell that they got to sit there. They're going to be hoping for somebody else. So look for them to start promoting whoever they hope can take over next. You'll start hearing a bunch of names coming up. There's a couple already coming out now. They're going to be hoping and praying somebody else comes up. And they're hoping that if they haze Caitlyn bad enough, and they're hoping that if they trash her bad enough, that that'll be a signal to the others coming up that they better not do this. You better stay on code. And that's why we got to make sure that they understand whose house this is and that we make no apologies about it. And here's the thing, Megyn Kelly can be as mad as she wants to while she slips into her Depends. What? And drinks her Metamucil and her Ensure. Megyn can be as upset as she want to be. We showing you here, it's not going to change a damn thing. Because no matter what you say, Caitlyn Clark can be the highest paid player because of white privilege, and she can be the most promoted because of white privilege, and she can have the most endorsements because of white privilege. But when she steps into that arena, she's still in our house. Eminem might have sold more albums when he put out a record, but when you go down the street, show of hands in the chat room. How many of y'all got Eminem on your phones, bumping on your speakers in your car? What? Damn!
Nigga, please.
Give me the radio emoji in the chat room. If you got Eminem on your iTunes, if you bump Eminem on the car, if you bumping Eminem going down I-35 in Dallas, down 285 in Atlanta, down 95 south and north, if you bumping Eminem rolling down Halstead in Chicago, if you bumping Eminem rolling down La Brea in LA, oh, I'm going to give it to you. If you bumping Eminem rolling down MLK in Houston, I want to know if you bumping Macklemore and Jack Harlow and Post Malone while you balling down I-30 in Arkansas. Give me the radio emoji. If you bumping Eminem when you rolling down Interstate 76, 676, Philadelphia, stand up. If you're bumping Eminem in Philadelphia, give me the radio emoji and stand up. New York City, 125th, Amsterdam, 34th, JFK, FDR. If you bumping Eminem and Macklemore and G-Eazy on the BQE. Oh, I'm naming your spots. Bronx Expressway. New York City, stand up. Oh, we got one radio in there. I'll be damned. Fix It All 777. Let me go ahead and throw the Zoom up right quick. Oh, Fix It All. Threw up the radio emoji. I gotta hear this. Y'all, we actually got one. We actually got one. Oh, no. I need you to go ahead and holler at me. I need to hear this. I need to hear this. Let me go ahead and throw this up in the chat room right quick. I put the Zoom link. The Zoom link is pinned to the top of the chat room here. Fix It All 77. Hit me up on Zoom here. I would like to get details. I need details. We got one little lone radio in the chat room. Zebulon Santiago said he bumping Action Bronson. Zebulon, okay, we got two little old emojis in the chat room. Two little emojis. Fix It All 777. Santiago, I need y'all to hit me up on Zoom. We need details. We need details, y'all. Oh, we need details. We need details. We got some folk in here. I'm talking about they got the damn Jack Harlow and Action Bronson bumping. Oh, I need details. I need to know city. I need to know strip. I need to know that. I'm like Craig David. Can you fill me in? I want to know who bumping that. And then I want to know, is Miley Cyrus on your damn playlist too? What? By the way, when you get done playing Action Bronson, by the way, is Miley Cyrus next on the playlist? Is Taylor Swift next on it? I'm just trying to see. Was that Yo Tahoe? Was that Yo Tahoe bumping that Katy Perry? I need to know what the city was. I need to know which city it was, though. Let me find out what city you in. I need to find out what city you're in. Was that your Ford Explorer? I got my Action Bronson, and then I got my Katy Perry. I play a little Betty White too. I ain't dissing you. I ain't clowning you. I'm just saying I want details. I need a little bit more information. I don't want to assume nothing. I need a little more information. Before I say one thing and the other, can I get some more information? I very much like to find out what the 411 is. Because I'm sitting here like, okay, I don't think we got any witnesses. And then we had one jump up, me. Okay, well. All righty then. I ain't got nobody on Zoom just yet. Hey, bro, you got to rep your hood. You got to rep your set, man. These fellas here, boy, I'm telling y'all, they be sitting up here listening to all this pop music and then they throw up the radio and they don't want to claim it then. I listen to Action Bronson. What the hell kind of Action Bronson fan are you? Action Bronson my ass. You need a Charles Bronson ass whooping. Dude, come on now. If you're going to rep these folk here, what the hell kind of fan are you? You scared to say? I say, well, go ahead and comment about it. Let me smack your brother, man. I can't really stick up for him, brother. Come on now. Let me go ahead and get over here on Zoom. I got somebody. On Zoom. Yeah, they have their Pearl Jam going. It's just, and I ain't dissing them for that. They have the Pearl Jam going. They can do their thing. Okay, I think I got ODAT on Zoom. ODAT, I just need you to do one thing just to make sure we don't have any trolling issues. Nobody else is going to see you, but I do need you to turn the camera on for me just so we don't have any trolling issues. No one else is going to see you. It's just you and me. So you don't have to worry about this not going on YouTube. Nobody's going to see you. But just to make sure we don't have any trolling problems, want to make sure we got that taken care of. So I'll give you 5 seconds for that, but just to make sure we don't have any trolling issues, that's all we're looking for there. So, ODAT, I'll give you 5 more seconds, and then we got to move on. Yeah, y'all, like I say, it's just one of the things there. If you're a fan of it, go ahead and do that. You got your Robin Thicke. You got your Robin Thicke playing up in there. Hey, there's some of y'all females up in here. Don't get us started. You don't want your dirty laundry coming out.
Lie.
All right, ladies, you don't get us started here. We don't want your dirty laundry coming to light. Some of the females would be like, "Oh, I would never do that." I'm like, "Okay, baby, don't make them skeletons come out and start dancing. Them disco dancing bones. You don't want that." So be polite. Be polite. Be merciful. Some of y'all females up in here, you don't want us thumbing through them crates. You don't want us thumbing through that playlist. Some of you ladies up in here, you don't want us thumbing through that playlist. You don't want us doing that. We let you get away with Hall & Oates. Damn. We let you get away with Michael McDonald.
Welcome to Good Burger, home of the Good Burger. Can I take your order?
Okay, but some of y'all got some Robin Thicke. Some of y'all got some Robin Thicke up in some Justin Timberlake. You got your little guilty pleasures. Some of y'all ladies got your little guilty pleasures up in here. Don't make us have to dig up some skeletons. You don't want them disco dancing bones coming out tonight. I'm trying to be polite. You don't want them bones to get to dancing like that Michael Jackson video. You don't want them bones dancing up in here. Leave them bones in the closet. I'm trying to be nice right now. Trying to be nice. It's not that we don't know it's there. Please understand, as black men, it's not that we don't know y'all got it. We know it's up in there. Justin Bieber. Some of y'all are believers. Some of you under the age of 40. Some of y'all are believers. We're gonna let you live. We're gonna let you live, but it's like, okay, then don't act like we don't know now. It's one little swipe through your iTunes could blow up your spot for life. It's, what the hell is this? What is she listening to over here? Vanessa Carlton. You know I'd walk 1,000 miles. Okay. Her iTunes playlist sounds like Damn Me, Ally McBeal. What? She got the theme song she knows the lyrics to the theme song to Friends. You better leave these fellas alone. Leave these fellas alone. Come on now, don't start here. We gonna check these dudes. Ladies, I don't know about that one. I don't know. You might want to leave that alone for a little bit. I know it's very tempting. It's extremely tempting, but you might want to leave it alone. However, you all might disagree. You just might. Therefore, I've gone ahead and pinned this link to the Zoom at the top of the chat room, and you can weigh in on this tonight. Before we do, I want to thank everyone who's contributed to support tonight's program on PayPal, Super Chat, Venmo, Black Views, FBA. Big shout out here to you, Nancy King. Thank you very much for weighing in with us tonight. We appreciate that here. Chris Brown. Okay, he is taking a break from collecting $1,100 from Chicks on Tour. Shout out to Chris Brown here in the chat room. He's making his money in the back room. I can't do nothing but respect it. Everybody else here on Super Chat here as well, thank you very much for your support. We're going to go ahead and take a very brief commercial, non-commercial break. When we come back, we will take your calls and more. This is the Black Channel.
Is your child struggling in school? Wish there was a way to get them the extra help they need? Mr. B, the teacher, is available for online tutoring on both tutor.com and varsitytutors.com platforms. He can help your child in a variety of subjects and is passionate about making learning fun and effective. And for even more learning tips, check out his book, Guidelines for the Successful Student, now available on amazon.com. For more information or to reach him directly, go to mrbetheteacher.com today.
The Honey Badger and the Mongoose is a children's story for the family of how a honey badger and mongoose fight an evil alliance of venomous cobra snake and hyenas that overhauls the balance of the savannah. The Big Five. The honey badger demands reparations. Will the Big Five give reparations? Can the evil alliance be stopped? You can find this book at Amazon, Audible, and Kindle.
Order yours today to experience all the benefits of Ash Kickin' Body Butter. With skin so smooth and soft, you'll thank us for it. Shop Ash Kickin' online. That's ASHKICKIN.com.
Hi, this is Brenda Starr, creator of Poetry with a Purpose and author of the book Pressed But Not Crushed. Pressed But Not Crushed is an anthology of political poems that address current and historical issues in American descendants of slave population and African American population. The book describes slaveries and its residuals, Jim Crow segregation, social depredation, and other relevant issues to American descendants of slaves and African Americans, including the current political climate that does not address our issues.
This is the Black Channel. I am your host, your brother, your humble servant, the Black Authority. Very glad to be with you all here this evening. We've gone ahead and opened up the Zoom here tonight, so you can go ahead and give me a call. You're definitely invited to do that. Georgia boy needs to be on Zoom, so wherever he is needs to do that. Now, remember, if you are on Zoom, I just need you to make sure you have your camera and your microphone turned on. Everyone else is not going to see you, just me, just to make sure we don't have any trolling issues. But yeah, we want to go ahead and do that. Go ahead and give us a call here. ODAT in Connecticut, like I say, if you don't get your act together, we're going to have to go ahead and show you the door here. Let me go ahead and see if I can get on Zoom. Let me grab Chris Brown. Oh, this is the other Chris Brown. Okay. This is not the one I thought it was. This is the other Chris Brown. Okay. Okay. Turn off your speakers, Chris. Don't hit me. Got you. And don't hit me. All right, Chris, what's on your mind?
Yeah. Peace, Jason. I just wanted to call and give you your props. But just touching on the Beastie Boys thing, that first album, License to Ill, that was hot shit here in New York. But definitely albums preceding those was definitely on some punk rock and alternative rock shit. They made their bones in the streets and shit.
Well, look, I remember when it came out, you know, MTV just got popping, so that opened up a whole new stream there. Beastie Boys basically ran concurrent to Run DMC. Run DMC really got national notoriety with Walk This Way. So Run DMC and Aerosmith. So there was a lot of mixing of things. Was there an agenda behind that to a certain degree? Yes, there was. But for the most part, we understood this. So there was a lot of mixing of things going on for a number of different reasons. Remember, back then, they were saying that rap was a fad. Remember, they were saying that rap was the successor to disco. And for those of us who were old enough, we might have been young kids at the time, but we don't remember. Disco was the 70s. It bled over into the beginning of the 80s. Michael Jackson, Off the Wall, was a disco album. And so you got Thriller, which has one or two songs with some disco elements to it, but basically it's a new rock type of song. But at that point, disco, they were determined to kill disco. So they were talking it down. They're like, okay, the record industry decided the disco era is over. There's an agenda behind that too. That's for another broadcast. But the murder of the disco era is another broadcast. However, when we get to MTV, they want to make a lane for a bunch of things. So they wanted, remember the guy who did MTV, remember Gladys Knight talked about that he said there'd never be a black person on MTV. And then Michael Jackson came. They wanted to make sure that there was as wide a lane as possible for every white artist because this music videos thing was going to eclipse radio. And it did. That was the reason. So Beastie Boys, everybody else, they were making sure there was a lane for them. If the lane is wide open, whatever you want to do, we'll promote it. That's not what black folk were getting. They wasn't getting that. So the Beastie Boys, it certainly was there, but the attitude was different also. The Beasties weren't coming into it, with the colonizer thing. Furthermore, let's just be honest. I mean, the Beasties wasn't representing the streets. I mean, it's the folks who were singing my Adidas, oops, I meant hoops, whatever. They wasn't the Beastie Boys when the next song.
They was representing the streets of the Lower East Side of Manhattan, but it wasn't like, they was representing the hood, you know what I mean? Like they was from LES, so they was repping like the Lower East Side, the Puerto Ricans, the few blacks that was around there, the poor whites and shit like that. So, and the skateboarders, that was that whole skateboard culture.
Right. Thank you for reminding me the skateboarder thing. Y'all, he's telling the absolute truth. They were the anthem for the skateboarders. So later, Tony Hawk and them, when he rises to prominence, thank you for reminding us. It's been a while, but I've forgotten all about that. Yes, the Beasties were the mascots for the skateboarders and thrashing.
Yep.
So, for the white kids and stuff like that. And that's why, for example, down here in Louisiana, the Beasties were playing on the rock station. So, you got to fight for your right to party. That was on the rock station here. That wasn't on the top 40 station. Damn sure wasn't on the black station. But that was on the rock station here.
Nah, but DJs did play Brass Monkey and that Paul Revere track where the track was like going in reverse. And he was talking about riding on his horse and Paul Revere and all that. That was a party favorite. Especially but you don't hear no Eminem like that. You might hear that, Forgot About Dre, you might hear him on a track like that, but nobody's riding around pumping Eminem like that. And not unless they of another skin tone and shit, they be pushing them.
Yeah, not even at the LGBT club. They don't even play them over there. So.
Nah, no clubs in Manhattan, especially not in the 90s when the whole New York hip-hop scene in Manhattan was crazy and shit. Nobody was playing Eminem, not even to start the party. So,
Eminem, nobody was playing Eminem. Now, guess what? 50, everybody was bumping that. Everywhere you went in the club. Now, ain't that interesting? So, Eminem, you didn't hear him in no cars. Very next year, 50, everybody was bumping that. In the car, in the club, at the house. You heard that everywhere. That's the difference I'm talking about.
I mean, as far as some street white boys, you got R.A. the Rugged Child. He gets props as a white boy in hip-hop in the street. He got blacklisted. You got Vinnie Panzini from Jedi Mind Tricks. I mean, cats like that will smoke Eminem on the mic, but you won't hear them. And the argument is, they underground. Record sales ain't got shit to do with being the greatest. You know what I mean? So
look, he's part of the machine.
Now, I guess you could say that.
Eminem was chosen because Eminem was not chosen by Dre. Let's be very clear about that. You don't have to like it. Eminem was not chosen by Dre. Eminem was chosen by Jimmy Iovine. What?
basically.
Jimmy Iovine has been pulling the strings the whole damn. I want y'all to understand, from Ruthless Records to today, Jimmy Iovine has been a part of the mix the whole time. The Beats deal with Apple, that was Jimmy. That was Jimmy Iovine. Remember, Dre got one of the billions. Jimmy got the other one.
Yep.
Jimmy didn't get no 100 million. Dre got $1 billion. Jimmy got one. That's what happened there. So he's the maestro. He's one. Okay, this one's gonna be, because you can be talented as you want to. You can grab all the white boys you want to. If a Jimmy Iovine in the system, in the machine, doesn't say, okay, we gonna put 20 million behind him. We gonna get him on Pepsi. We gonna contact the NFL. If you don't have somebody to do that, you ain't gonna get to that level. That's not gonna happen.
That's why them other white cats I just mentioned, they ain't get they shine. And like I said, they run rings around Eminem on some lyrical shit. You know what I mean? But
he's chosen.
Man, had a team behind him.
Absolutely right, brother. Everything you said is dead spot on. Thank you very much for giving us a call tonight. This will be a whole damn longer program if we go off into that one, but everything he just told you was absolutely true. And I just want y'all to understand, he didn't get where he is for nothing. He was the guy that they chose. They chose Marshall Mathers, which means you pass the background check. They know exactly what they're going to do with you. They know exactly where they're going to plug you in. They know exactly who they're going to put you with. They know exactly how it's going to play out and how it's going to go. And by the way, one more thing, folk ain't gonna like this. My Eminem fans, you're not gonna like this next part here. But by the way, something else very familiar in the music industry that usually happens to black folk. Was Eminem sober when he got his record deal? Damn! By the way, what was Eminem's substance abuse status when it was finally time for him to sign a record deal? What was his substance abuse status? Was he clean and sober, or was he lit on drugs the whole damn time? He'll tell you today, when them first albums be like, man, I was on drugs, I was on pills, I'm talking about my mama. He's like, man, I was whacked out of my damn mind. Oh! So you mean to tell me Jimmy Iovine didn't know that? Or was this the typical record company story where the person that they select just so happens to also have a cocaine habit, a drug habit? I mean, y'all, I ain't dissing nobody, but we know what it is. We know what it is. Come on now. How many of these rappers have we heard about now after all these damn years? Oh, yeah, they was on drugs. They were lit. They were this, that, and the other. These younger folk out here today with their pill habits. I'm like, man, you light work. We couldn't keep DMX clean. One of the greatest who ever picked up a microphone. DMX was New York's gangster rap. Couldn't keep him clean. And he was just one. That is the thing. Your singers, your rappers, isn't it very amazing? Everybody who gets a record deal also got a damn habit. And oh yeah, I just thought I would remind you, by the way, Eminem, everybody got a habit except Eminem. Wait a minute. No. No, he had one too. He had one too. Hell, remember, you can't get into a Diddy party if you ain't willing to get smoked up. Remember? You could not be a part of a Diddy party if you wasn't doing drugs. Hell, remember, they had IVs. The nigga could only chase Cassie down the damn hallway in one video because in the other one, he had walking around with a damn IV drip. Y'all ain't never seen a party that was so damn crunked over that niggas got to bring IV drips with them and walk around with it like you in the ICU. That's what you got to do to be at the Diddy party. I'm like, oh, okay, I got to be at a different party because, yeah, I can't be on no IV drip. Whatever y'all doing, it ain't nothing going to be so wonderful that I need to have an IV drip to recover. Ain't no party so lit, I got to be a part of it for that. I'm just saying, y'all, all these people with this hospital equipment, I'm thinking about Michael Jackson. He had that at his house. Michael Jackson, Prince, Eddie Van Halen. We don't want to get into that tonight. But by the way, yeah, that's the get down. That's the get down. And it's not accidental. Man, look here, all them cats was lit. All those cats were lit back in the day. KRS-One done talked about that. Your old heads talked about all them dudes was lit. Cocaine, heroin, Quaaludes, back when you did that. Shout out Bill Cosby. I mean, that was the ecstasy party drug of its time. That's why the federal government really had to get together with pharmaceutical companies to clamp down on Quaaludes. That was the party drug, the ecstasy, the X drug of its time was Quaaludes. So that was the club drug, the party drug that ecstasy replaced decades later. That was what they were doing back then. It's not new. Popping pills ain't new. Taking little drug things ain't new. We've always had that going on. Always. Always. You're just finding out your generation's version of it. And then you find out, I'll be damned, everybody lit and everybody using. You go to these parties and stuff, man, if you ain't high, you're the only one who isn't. That's why they don't want to talk to you. They're like, hey, you're too sober to forget what's going on. You're gonna remember everything. So we need you high so you can forget what you saw. All right, let me go ahead and get over here on Zoom. I got a Zoom user on here. What's your name, brother?
Hey, what's up, Jason? Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. What's your name?
Oh, this is Rock Love, Jason. Peace.
All right, Rock. Where you call me out of?
Chicago.
All right, Rock Love, Chicago. What's on your mind?
Okay, so just 2 quick points. I'm not gonna take up too much of your time. With the Caitlyn Clark thing, I've watched some shorts of her. She's definitely talented like that. I really do think it's disingenuous that they're attacking her because, of course, she's grown up playing basketball, probably around a lot of Black talented women. So good for her for saying what is true. I'll say that one point right there. The other point I wanted to just make, if you allow me, about the Eminem thing. Can I just speak on that? I know you don't want to get into the weeds with that, but Eminem came up through a hip hop function that was annual called Scribble Jam. And there's a famous video where one of my homeboys he's from LA, but he lived in Chicago. His name is MC Juice. He's the only MC that's known. He's a brother too. He's actually related to Charlie Parker, light-skinned brother. He watched him in a freestyle battle, and the battle was so good that they took it to the next day, and he watched him the next day. But Eminem ended up getting that Dre deal. I just want to put that out there.
Yeah, I mean, look, how the hell do you get the fast track to go talk to Dre? You know how many niggas been trying to talk to Dre for decades? And
Exactly.
this one kid out of 8th Mile gets brought straight in? Come on, man. How does that happen?
Now watch this, and here's the thing about MC Juice. Y'all can look that battle up to the family in the room right now, attending this broadcast. Juice had a reputation of people thinking that he was writing his rhymes because he could freestyle off the top of the dome so good that it sounded written, and it definitely was not. And this is a homeboy of mine. Look that battle up. Juice versus Eminem actually conceded that he lost that battle. But he ended up getting that at the Scribble Jam. Dre had his ear to the street, and he still signed Eminem because that's where the bag was. What do you think about that?
They were looking for him. Dre was looking for somebody to develop because he was never going to put out the Chronic 2. So Dre was looking for somebody to produce. After he had left Death Row, Aftermath's job was to get a label going and then find somebody to produce. And him and Jimmy Iovine sat down and said, we don't need a black fella this time. It needs to be a white guy. It needs to be a white boy this time. He was chosen, just like Cardi B, just like Nicki Minaj was chosen to, be the second coming of Lil' Kim. Eminem was chosen. He wasn't the best. He didn't have to be. He just needed to be good enough. He just needed to be good enough. And he was.
I will say I messed up. I'm an MC myself, and I fool with Eminem. But like when everybody be talking about he's the greatest, and stop that. Like, come on, man. Like, I'm a DJ as well. There's too many. First of all, people have this top 5. If you're a real hip hop head, you know there's no top 5. There's at least a top 20 or 50. So where Eminem places in that, it's somewhere in the middle. He's good, but people need to stop with all that. He's the greatest. And all that.
I remember it as clear as day. Around 2005, 2003, 2005, somewhere around there. MTV, I'll never forget it when they jumped in there talking about we're celebrating hip hop, and you can't celebrate hip hop without talking about Eminem. That was clear. You're chosen. The machine, the corporations are determined to do that. And remember, he got to a point where he became a line item. I forget which distributor it was. I don't know if he was with Universal or whatever Jimmy Iovine and them had him under. But remember, he was part of the prospectus, part of the projection for the next quarter that they did on their company calls for the stock. That, the new Eminem album is coming out next quarter, and we expect this to do like 50 million or 100 million or whatever. That's what they were saying on their conference calls. That's how integrated he was into the corporate structure. You never heard that before. You never heard a company say that about an artist before. But for him, they were saying that. That tells you, you're part of the machine. You're not an artist.
Let me ask you this, Jason. Do you think that because I watched his award speeches, and I feel like it's probably hard to be Eminem because he probably knows this exact fact. Because when he talks about his favorite rappers are Tretch, LL Cool J, Rakim, and he has to throw the Beastie Boys in there. And then it goes back to the black rappers. So he probably knows it himself that, nah, it ain't like that. So it's probably hard to be in his skin. What you think?
Well, I mean, look, obviously, from a cultural standpoint here, obviously, he's going to have to, you're going to see some connection to, you're going to be scared to say Vanilla Ice. So he's going to say the Beastie Boys. You can't say Vanilla Ice because now we're going to have to throw you out the damn room. And you may be afraid to say third base because Search went so heavy in for black folk back in the day, even though now his credentials look hella shady. But so he was a bit different.
He gave us Nas, but
but I gotta say I don't respect that about that because, like I said, he got Nas's publishing and talking about selling the publishing. You sell it to Nas, bastard. That's what you do with that.
Right.
So like I said, I can't co-sign Search. I really can't. But from a cultural standpoint, because he talks one way and then does something else. But be that as it may, I mean, yeah, you're going to see that kind of thing get thrown there because at the end of the day, that is his point of reference. He might come from 8 Mile. I've been to 8 Mile. I've been out there. I literally have driven up and down it. Y'all saw me. If you saw my film, I've literally driven up and down it. Okay, I understand that. But the bottom line is there's one thing he'll never be. He'll never be a black kid from 8 Mile.
Right,
You'll never be a black kid from 7th. You can't be that.
I'm sorry. That reminds me of, he has a line where he says, but I'm still not black or something like that in his rhymes. Like he admits that, like, damn, if I was black, this would be a lot easier.
I mean, but here's the thing. It would be like us in, being in the middle of, if you had some equivalent to, feudal Japan. It would be like us being in the middle of that. We might be fantastic with a katana sword. We're going to be many things. We're never going to be Japanese.
Right.
We can be many things. We cannot be that. So we can help the cause, and you can go fight for Tokugawa and this, that. That's great. You're the greatest swordsman out there. That's wonderful. But you're never going to be able to be that. And you know what? You know what? That's okay. And that's okay, too. If you choose to go link up with the Tokugawa shogunate, remember where you stand in the order. You can do many things, but you are not going to walk up to the damn throne and say, I'm such a great swordsman. Get your ass off this throne. I'm sitting on it. It doesn't work that way, brother. It doesn't work that way. You and me can do many things in feudal Japan. We can fight for the emperor. You and me can never walk up there and knock the emperor off his throne and say, well, I'm such a great swordsman. I get to sit here now. Never. Never. Nor would we expect to.
Right.
Both of us are better fighters and better shooters than Donald Trump. That don't get us to the White House.
Right.
If y'all want to know the logic behind it, I just gave you logic. I'm a better fighter and this, that, and the other. Okay, that's not that you might be telling the truth. You ain't getting in the White House that way.
That's very insightful for sure. Hey, Jason, thank you so much for your time. I love everything that you do. I really appreciate you, and thank you for taking my call, Jason.
Thank you for giving us a call tonight. Respect is showing your place in the pecking order. Respect is showing your place in the pecking order. Let me be very, very clear. You can be the greatest singer out there today. I don't give a damn who you are. If Ella Fitzgerald hop out that damn grave, I expect you to bow. I don't give a damn how many albums you sold. I don't care how many arenas you sold out. If Ella Fitzgerald hop out that damn coffin, I expect everything in here with a set of ovaries to bow. I don't give a damn what you sing or how many you sold. Ella just walked up in here. The only thing you can do next to her is salute and bow and curtsy. That's the only thing you can do next to that. That's your position. You want respect among us, I expect you to play your position. That's the way that goes. For real, for real. Let me go ahead and see if I can get Onan up here on Zoom. See if I can get Onan up here. See if we can get Zimbabwe broadband going.
What's up, brother Jason? Can you hear me?
All right, Onan, what's on your mind?
So, I actually do believe that Eminem is a pretty good rapper.
Onan, just quick check right quick. Do you have Katy Perry, Pink, or Celine Dion on your damn phone, nigga?
No, I don't have any of those artists in particular.
Might have to do an iTunes check on you, but okay.
Listen, I'll admit, I do like some of Sabrina Carpenter's music.
Here we go.
I know that might be a bit zesty of me to admit, but I am a fan of some of her music. But that's neither here or there.
Actually, that's here. That's neither here nor there. Nigga, it's right here. But anyway, all right, go ahead.
I'm speaking to the aspect of hip hop, right? Because growing up, I listened to so many different hip hop artists, right? Like I grew up on Ice Cube. Today Was a Good Day. I remember that video listening to Video Music Box with Ralph McDaniel. This was on public access TV back in the early 90s, right? Growing up in New York City. And I grew up on KRS-One and Coogee Rap, right? So I have a broad understanding of hip hop.
He got Britney Spears' greatest hits on his phone. But anyway, what about Eminem?
No, I don't have any Britney Spears on my phone. But as far as Eminem is concerned, you can say that he has influenced a generation of rappers that preceded him. Like he had influenced the early styles of J. Cole, Logic, other pretty prominent artists, Kendrick Lamar. I'm not saying that, he's one of the greats, right? I do think that his subject matter tends to be limited sometimes. But I think overall, I do think he deserves his flowers.
Okay.
Like I don't think he should be like praised. But
I don't think that's an accurate assessment of it. I don't know how much quote influence he had with them beyond one thing. What I will say is for younger cats who didn't come up during the NWA era and the Rakim era, I will say that maybe for them, they don't. Here's the thing. If Eminem got picked up by the machine and it's very obvious he's been chosen by the machine, well, it's just like with the females with all the hoe rap. I mean, when they see who the machine is picking up, that's going to be very tempting to try to give the machine what it wants or what it looks like it wants. So I don't know if I would say they were influenced in that way. Maybe it was because I don't hear it. I'm not hearing what you're talking about. I don't hear it. But if it were there, then I would think that would be more of in alignment with, well, this is what the machine is looking for, and this is what they want on the radio, and especially if you got a back channel to Dre, it's like, okay, this is what Dre was looking for, so I need to be able to demonstrate I need to be able to demonstrate I have some proficiency at that. If you're afraid that's what they're filtering for,
right? No, I understand where you're coming from. It's performative in that sense, right? Like if you look at Sexy Red, for instance, or whatever, Megan Thee Stallion, just one of these run-of-the-mill female ratchet rappers, who sit around talking about their crotch all day, But like if you listen to old school hip hop, like I'm a big Black Moon fan, right? Who Got the Props? There's another joint by him that I'm a fan of. I can't name it off the top of my head right now, but Black Moon, Wu-Tang, Lost Boys.
I thought Lil Nas X was your dude, but I just
listen, I don't rock with Lil Nas X. That's not my kind of music.
Pause.
You know what I mean? It's trash. Listen, I don't support nobody just because like we happen to be of the same sexual background or orientation or whatever. What? You know what I mean? Like you call it what it is. You know what I mean? I am who I am. I'm just saying, like, my understanding of hip hop comes from an organic standpoint. Like I'm not looking for a trend. I'm not following something just because it's woke or anything like that. Like I actually do have a deep affinity for hip hop. Like it speaks more to me.
Tell me something here. When did Kendrick say that Eminem was an influence on him?
Well, okay. So if you listen to Kendrick's earlier styles,
stop. Break pedal,
you gotta let me finish.
All I want to know is, when did Kendrick say Eminem was an influence on him? Not when you detected or divined, or I got an impression. Did Kendrick ever say that?
Yes, he has said that on multiple occasions. Yes.
Multiple occasions?
Yes.
That Eminem was an influence on him?
I might be wrong on that. I might be wrong.
Okay. All right. Because it's one thing to acknowledge Eminem, it's another thing to say he was an influence on me, and I listened to him growing up, and I got a lot of style from him, because I'm hearing on this last album Kendrick did, I'm hearing Tupac between him and Drake. Eminem, I'm not so sure about that. I would really need to see that, especially coming from what Kendrick does. I don't know how he would get away with that.
Okay, so if you listen to Kendrick's earlier styles, like if you listen to the way he raps, I'd say from like 2005 to around 2009, right? It had a pretty heavy Eminem influence as far as like the cadence and the rhythmic pattern. I'm not saying that like it was like verbatim Eminem, but I believe that the influence was there. And also with J. Cole, you could definitely hear the influence around like 2003 to around 2006 with J. Cole. Listen, I'm just saying, I'm not here vouching for, because again, I do think that his subject matter tends to be pretty stale. The guy raps about killing his mother half of the time. And I'm glad that he reconciled. Well, listen, I'm glad that he reconciled with her before they moved on, before she died. You know what I mean? But I'm saying, if you look at the grand scheme of things, right, you take all rappers into perspective, candidly speaking, Eminem is pretty high up there. Right? Like, certainly in the top 100.
I mean, look, like I say, I mean,
listen, we could argue top 20, top 50.
Okay, folk, remember these things are subjective. Okay, fine, to a certain degree. What is not subjective is if we, the foundation that made this, how many of us are certifying that? How many of us are certifying that? And certifying that means it's on your phone, it's on your speakers, it's playing in the truck, it's bumping in the Escalade. That's certifying it. And I literally cannot think of a single Eminem song that I have ever heard outside of my headphones here flipping through YouTube. I literally cannot think of a place in America. And I have traveled from coast to coast now over the course of the last 25 years. I literally have never been in anywhere in public and heard that song playing. Any of his music playing.
Okay, so the real Slim Shady, back in what was it, like 2000, 2001? Like I'm pretty sure you heard that, or Not Afraid, circa 2010, 2011, or whenever that song came out, or I don't know. Listen,
here's a better question. Here's a better question. You can go to Sirius XM. They play throwback music all the time. Show me Eminem playing there. Show me anything is playing.
I don't keep up with Sirius XM.
Okay, so. But my point is, we can't even find any. You can't really find anything contemporary where it's that music that you're referring to is being invoked. You can still hear Ice Cube, "Today Is a Good Day," and that was before Eminem had a contract. And yet, on the other hand, it's like, I'm telling you, there's a reason for it. This has nothing to do with whether or not you think he's a competent lyricist, performer, or anything. Got nothing to do with that. What it does have to do is that when people start trying to peg a ranking, what I'm saying is, wait a minute, part of the ranking is, now which one of you niggas got this on your playlist? Because if the only place that you mention Eminem being ranked is when some white folk at Billboard magazine show up, you know what answer they're looking for. All of a sudden you ranking Eminem. But not a single person in the damn stadium got him on their phones. Not a single one of you is an Eminem customer. And what I'm saying is, wait a minute, how is he in your top 10 and yet none of you are customers? You love his music so much, none of you bought it. None of you have it. If you do got it, you niggas are scared to say you got it. That's what I was saying before. What kind of fan is that? What kind of fan is afraid to rep they damn artist? You like Eminem so much you won't claim him. What I'm saying is, now that's a testament to a person's career. Your fans love you so much they won't claim you.
Okay, listen. To be fair, I'm gonna have a heart-to-heart moment. Okay, so
pause.
I went to a Catholic school that was mostly white and Latino, right? And the music that they played tended to be Eminem or Limp Bizkit or Blink-182. Right. And there was a lot of hip hop, too, but it was geared more towards an audience that also listened to that. Right. So I guess my perspective might be a bit skewed because of the environment that I grew up in. I'm not saying that I'm special in any type of way, because I'm not. Right. I'm just acknowledging a background that I grew up in that developed a taste for music that I have.
Well, I mean, here's the thing. If you do come, especially black kids who go to white schools or predominantly white schools or, reasonably white schools, the white kids, their only real interaction or contact with us is entertainment. Television, radio, they don't live around us. And they usually go for the most exciting thing they can go for. This difference, like black folk watching Italian gangster movies. Don't know any Italian gangsters, but you want to watch Italian gangster movies. You're not really interested in the Italian cooking channel. And with the white kids, it tends to be that too. So their musical tastes it's coming from a specific place. It's actually not from, just nowhere. There actually is a reason and a motivation behind it. So if some of that glummed on to you in that regard, that could explain a few things. Thank you very much for giving us a call tonight here. And that was Onan letting us know is when he say he's getting rid of his Lil Nas X playlist. He said, can't fool with that. All right. Lil Nas X, that's a bad commentary on you. Onan said he don't bump Lil Nas X. Pause. Onan said he don't bump it. So I said, oh man. All right, I got Odat here on Zoom. What's on your mind, Odat? Wake up.
Hi, Jason. This is Odat from Fairfield. Hello.
All right, what's on your mind, sir? He's on delay.
Yeah, I'm just saying it's a good conversation, and the tie-in with the topic with the Megyn Kelly comments, and like for the white card being revoked. I can understand that, and why she would say that, and that those are practicing white supremacy. And I read the comments what Caitlyn had to share, and it felt sincere. So when she said that and pulling a card, I'm like, wow. I hope she was sincere, giving homage to the players, the black players. And conversely, with the conversation in hip hop, it's apples and oranges, because some of the white rappers, I grew up in Fairfield County, so I grew up with white individuals that listen to the same music. I'm Generation X, and they listen to the same golden era, platinum era hip hop. So I have a very large perspective. And today, when individuals that are guests in the B1 community, if you will, when they give homage, it kind of gives credence to them for me. But for individuals to like so-called pull cards and pertaining to the topic, and she felt this, and it felt genuine when she said it. So it's like people was feeling salty that she was giving props to those black players. As far as hip hop is concerned, I'll say this and try to land. Our hip hop community from the foundation, I know like indirectly some of the pioneers and the white individuals that join in and being experienced is like some of those, they get the stamp and some people ride it, and it's like, do you really understand, like you said, from the roots and the soil, to be able to discern like from that sound? So when individuals want to pull cards and what the conversation, even with Andrew Schultz and the Drake and Kendrick, I'm like, individual, my perspective is that.
Well, here's the thing about it here. It is essential that we hold on to our position in this. This is critical, regardless of any other consideration. Here's the reason why. The reason why is because history has taught us when we let them into jazz, what did they do? When we let them into rock and roll, we created jazz, rock and roll, ragtime, the precursor to jazz. Every time we turn around, we create these things, and when we let any of them come in for any length of time, next thing we know, within 20 years, we've been erased from what we made. So we've already suffered that 4 or 5 different times now. All I'm saying is enough is a damn enough. Not another one. You've abused your privilege. Your white privilege. It's a privilege, not a right, to come over here. You've abused it, and as such, we have changed the rule. And the rule now is you can perform as much as you want to, but there is a clear acknowledgement of who built this and where this belongs. We are not going to look up in 20 damn years, and then we are damn me erased from rap and hip hop, and they're going to be telling you Eminem and Vanilla Ice. They'll literally be telling you that they made it. that they created, that it was, well, there were some weird black folk who were doing house parties in Brooklyn somewhere, but rap didn't really become a thing until Vanilla Ice and the Beastie Boys. And then next thing you know, that's literally what they'll be saying. And the white media, they won't have to erase Kool Herc and Curtis Blow and Africa Bambaataa and Sugar Hill Gang. They won't have to erase them. They already don't talk about them. Oh, I'm sorry, except some scurrilous accusations against Africa Bambaataa. Now, they did mention Africa Bambaataa when some allegations were made against him. All of a sudden, Africa Bambaataa made CNN. All of a sudden. So they are watching you, but only for the purposes of destroying you or diminishing you. So that's why we got to set the rules. And from here on in, this is going to be a framing of it. Everybody else is a guest. I'll let you have the last word.
Okay. Do you think that was late on our cast? Do you think that was honorable that she gave props to the black players? And when white, so we have to set the new rules and let them know, the host, the guests that come into our culture, you have to pay us homage first, because it sounded like it was an honorable thing. Do you think that was honorable? And moving forward,
it wasn't just honorable. It wasn't just honorable. It was honest. It's not like Caitlyn Clark is the damn me Michael Jordan over there. It's not like she's putting up 50 points a game. Right. If you were listening to Megyn Kelly and the rest of the MAGA white supremacist alt-right crackheads, you would be thinking that Caitlyn Clark was putting up 50 points a damn game. She is at best an average player or slightly above average for the league that she is in. She's playing at a level competent enough to be in the league she's in. She's not some phenomenal athlete who's putting up numbers that nobody's ever conceived of or heard of. On her best day, she's slightly better than Angel Reese on her best day. And so she's being honest. The truth of the matter is she's an average player in an average league of average females over there. She's an average player, but even amongst her, she's the only white one who's any significance. So beyond just anything else, she's being honest. She's just being honest, because if a black female had Caitlyn Clark's stats, would she have $40 million in endorsements?
No. And I hope going forward that more of the Caucasian brothers and sisters could be honest about that, and those feeling type of way, hey, you just going to have to eat that, because she really honestly, sincerely gave props and homage. And that's what it's all about. Give credit is due, and be one community. I'll leave it there, Jason.
Thank you very much for giving us a call tonight. Like I said, she knows what it is. Caitlyn Clark knows where she is. She knows that the hype, she knows that she's not going to be able to live up to the hype that they've been putting on her. She knows she's the one actually out there on the court. She knows it's not real. Now, she did what anybody else would do. She's like, hey, they offered me a bag. I can't be mad. I've never been upset with her for taking the bag. I'm not upset with Eminem. I'm not upset with Post Malone. I'm like, hey, if your white privilege done got a damn bag. Okay, all I'm saying is, as long as you acknowledge it for what the hell it is, I'm not going to begrudge your white privilege doing what white privilege does, as long as if you acknowledge it, that's what it is. Eminem, hey, I wouldn't be here if I wasn't white. Okay, hand me that bag. Yeah, let me get that 50 million. Okay, I might not have $1 million of talent, but I got $50 million of whiteness. Let me get out this trailer park. Let me get out, give me this 50 million so I can get out this trailer park. Okay, I'm not mad at him about that. But let's call it what it is. If you gonna get that bag, let's call the bag what it is. Let's call it what it is. Let's not pretend it's something it ain't. If you were black, would you still be getting offered that? Because I'm taking a look at a whole league full of black women who can play just as well as Caitlyn, and yet nobody was throwing that kind of bag till Caitlyn shows up. That's the thing that Caitlyn was acknowledging. Hey, there's a bunch of talented women here, and I'm not twice as good as they are. Y'all are talking and lying like I'm twice as good as them. No, I'm not. I am just as good as most of them. However, I'm getting a lot more benefits than they're getting. Even though my skill set is comparable to theirs, I'm not 3 times the player they are, but I'm getting 10 times the money. But I'm not 10 times the player. I'm not 10 times as good. My scoring and my stats are not 10 times better, but my paycheck is 10 times better. She knows what it is. And she had the courage to call it what it is. And that's why they're beating her up so brutally. So they're hoping that the next one will be like, okay, you don't want us to Caitlyn Clark, do you? You better not call that for what it is now. We'll Caitlyn Clark your ass. And that's really what it is. That's really what it is. All right, let me go ahead and see if I can get back over here on Zoom. Let me see if I can get Dan up here on Zoom. Dan's trying to get through his Zimbabwe broadband. All right, Dan, I think I see you bumping Katy Perry back there. All right, Dan, what's on your mind?
No, that's a damn lie. You ain't hear me bumping that bullshit.
Okay, I thought I heard a little bump going back there, but all right, it must be
that was you playing on the other phone, because when you on Zoom waiting, you can't hear the program, so I just use the other phone to still listen in what's going on until I came on Zoom.
He got pink on the other phone, y'all. All right, what's on your mind, Dan?
That's a good. I'm glad you touched on this Caitlyn Clark stuff, because it's like whatever it's like whatever we call stuff out, where you have a media and a platform. It's like when we say something that is that is true, everybody else look at us funny style. But when Caitlyn Clark says it, then it's like I think you kind of know what I'm trying to say. It's like when a black person says something that's
it's not real, and it ain't accurate till a white person says it.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking.
When a white person says it, now it's true. Now it's valid. Now they're saying the exact same words you were saying. But it's not credible till they say it.
And man, brother, I hate that shit with a passion. I really, really hate it. Especially when you talk amongst yourself and everybody looking at you funny style. Then when they say it, it's like, oh, real? Oh my God. And everybody eyes bucking and all this other crazy shit. But and another thing, I gotta throw this in there too. I just looked up now you look at Tiger Woods. When you talk about Tiger Woods, best golf player in the world, but when you look up income wise in 2024, Tiger Woods not even number one. You would think he would be number one since he's the greatest golf player of all time. I just looked that up. It's a white dude named John. It's pronounced R-A-L-M. John Wong. I can't pronounce that. I'm not good with names. He's number one with 218 million within this year alone.
Yeah, folk you can barely name. You don't remember them. You damn sure don't see no Nike endorsements or anything. But yes, when it's time to actually share wealth, if you're white, you're going to get guaranteed. You don't have to fight for endorsements. Black folk got to fight for endorsements, naming rights, and licensing. If you're white, they're going to push that Brinks truck up to your house up front because we can't afford for you to be fighting for this.
Another person I got to put out there, Phil Ivey. Now, for all my poker players, Phil Ivey is one of the best poker players. First of all, he's the best card player in the world and the smartest gambler in the world.
Yes, he is the best card player on the planet.
In the world, and still tour playing poker every day. I watch poker. I play poker. I go to casinos and play poker on the regular. But when you look up the highest earned poker player, it's this young white boy. What the fuck is his name? John Kennedy. John Kennedy.
No, now remember here though, Phil. I don't want to interrupt, but you brought up Phil. Remember Phil got caught up in that thing with that Asian chick.
That lawsuit. Now this back in 20. I'm finna give you the dates in order because you be coming with the receipts. In 2012, and I could break this. I'm gonna break this all the way down. The casinos were so thirsty to give Phil Ivey, say, hey, we will let you pick your game of choice.
Yep.
We will let you pick up your dealers. We'll let you pick your deck of cards. We'll give you all the hotels.
Your side of the room. Your side of the room you want to play on?
And you know what he said? And listen, and you know what he told him? He said, listen, I want these type of deck of cars. Is they purple on the back. I want an Asian person who speak Mandarin because his ex-wife was speaking Mandarin, even though she tried to take his ass to the ringer, trying to run his ass to the ringer. But that's a whole different topic though on the interracial thing. But this was a casino where they did that Barry Bonds movie at. Then all of a sudden, where he's airshored. Now, brother, I go to these casinos. I just saw somebody in the chat at the Horseshoe probably like a month ago. And he walked up on me. You know what I'm saying? Had his work uniform on. I forgot the brother name, but I know exactly how he looked. But let me get back to the story. They said that he was quote unquote air sorting. What the fuck is air sorting?
And he was, because that's what he had the Asian chick there for with him. Because she had learned how to identify the cards. That's why he had her there. So that's why they ended up suing. Now, the real thing about it is that's real janky, but this is another one of those situations. And I want to say the real thing was it blew up overseas. So it blew up overseas first, and then it kind of reverberated over here. But here's the thing. The reason why Phil was able to pull that off was because he was already winning. He didn't just start winning when he met that Asian woman. He won even more when he got with her. Because she wasn't that good of a player, but she knew how to identify the cards if you had them sorted a certain way. Or sourced a certain way, where they came from. She knew how to identify the edges on them. But she wasn't the big poker player. He was. Phil was already world-renowned. He was already a superstar. He was already a huge draw. He was already a big name. She didn't make him that. He was already there. She was like, hey, Phil, here's how we can, you already got millions of dollars. Here's how we can make more millions. But she didn't turn him into a millionaire. He was already there. He was already at the top of the game. That's the reason why he could walk in there and dictate terms. He had already earned that.
And then it's a killing part. Phil never came at y'all. Y'all was coming at him, giving him crazy ass deals like, hey, if win or lose, you come in with $500,000. We stake you up to 10%, whether you win or lose. So you lose $500,000, you get $100,000. You win more than what you came in with, we give you $100,000.
Dude, I mean, but cats like him make casinos money just sitting there, man.
Yeah, the endorsement. Because let me tell you something. If Phil come to a poker room, it's so much money. And I'm going to tell you something else, too. And I love poker. I learned how to play it. I actually really, really learned how to play in the joint while I was locked up, because that's all what the guys was doing, playing poker or playing chess or cards or something like that. So
that's how she learned. That's how the Asian chick learned. But go ahead.
Yeah. So when I listen to it, you know what? Another thing I picked up on it too. Phil used the racial shit. He's not gonna openly admit this, but he used the racialized stuff to his advantage, like the Floyd Mayweather effect, because he knows. Because one thing about playing poker, you know what I'm saying? Anybody that's in the chat room or anybody who can play poker, they'll tell you this. A lot of time, when a black person come in there, especially start playing higher stakes, when your buy-ins is $2,500 or $10,000 or better like that, they never believe you. It's like it's always a stigma of what this black person, I barely don't believe it. So it's like it's a curiosity. Hey, even I got to pay this black person a bunch of money. I just want to pick up some information on it. And Phil Iver's a hard cat to read, man. Like he cold. Like he cold. And I study that dude. You know, just from the outside looking at it. Hopefully one day I'll get a chance to play with him. Hopefully one day.
Well, I mean, you know, Phil knows his stuff. He was always a player. He was excellent at what he did. He was already a winner. Didn't nobody give him nothing. And if he had been white, he probably would have been doing that for a hell of a whole lot longer there. So that's a good point about him. Now, I'm glad you brought Phil up. I'll let you have the last word.
What's my last word? What I'm gonna say is, man, we just got to keep on fighting, man. Brother, you got to keep doing what you're doing so far as with the media concerned, because you know you're very important. You say a lot of shit on the media, you know, it's on the platform that a lot of us been saying on the streets since before I was even born. So continue to put up the good work. And so far as like, and continue to put the truth out there though. You know what I'm saying? And I can stand behind every word what you're saying, because this is something, a lot of this stuff that you're speaking on now, when it's come to different topic, I was always curious about. So it's like when I hear you and other cats that's, you know what I'm saying, that's talking, I kind of could go back and pick up, you know what I'm saying, even if it's years ago. So
thank you very much, brother. We appreciate that. Yeah, like I say, man, you know, if white folks say it, then it becomes true. I was reminding you all about the river in the ocean going on 2 decades ago. Takes you from Africa to South America. It's like, okay, folks trying to convince you that the damn Olmec statues are red Indians, or trying to convince you that those aren't black folk. And you literally can see where the ocean currents will take you from Africa to South America. Can literally see that. All of a sudden, the scientists and geologists get real quiet. Then all you got is Jared Taylor and folk trying to convince you that they're telling you that they came across from Alaska, when we can literally show you where the ocean would carry you over. No, Christopher Columbus had no damn idea. None. But it's not real until some white folk, when we say before Columbus, when we say the origin and the history of black civilization, when we say those things, folk want to argue with it. A white person come up, immediately it becomes, oh, of course it's true. Absolutely. All of a sudden, nobody's arguing. We say it, people will sit up here and argue with you over the damn DNA. Remember what had that in my documentary film Race War, Richard Spencer. Just because they're Negro doesn't mean they're black. What? I mean, yeah, just because they're dark-skinned with woolly hair and broad noses and thick lips, that doesn't mean that you're black. Why, you're genetically white. For those of you who didn't know, that they've been trying to do this for years, trying to make the argument that the Khoisan and like Nelson Mandela, oh, those are genetically white people. They just look black to you, but they're genetically white. This is literally what you have going on today. Been going on now ever since we started mapping these things out, and Dr. John Henry Clark and other folk, ever since we started mapping it out, this is what they're literally saying now. Well, yeah, I mean, you look black, but you're actually genetically white. And that's literally what they're saying. So when you point out the obvious blackness of the ancient Egyptians, they're going, even if you do find one that looks like damn me Wesley Snipes, they're going to tell you that that is a genetically white person. Until a white person comes along and tells them you wrong, then they're all going to gang up on them and start shouting him down. That's what they're going to do them. All right, let me go see if I can get Larry up here on Zoom. Try to get Larry here on Zoom. Yeah, folks in the chat room, like, that's crazy. Man, I've been dealing with this now going on 2 decades. This is reality. This is exactly what they do. That is what I'm white and I say so means. I'm white and I say so means that just because you think it's black don't mean it is. I mean, just because you can show it and that big broad nose and them big old lips and dark skin and woolly hair and you call that black? That's literally what you have. Okay, Larry on Zoom. Give you 5 seconds here to go ahead and turn your camera and your microphone on for me here. Just make sure we don't have any trolling issues. Nobody else will see you except me, but just make sure we don't have any trolling issues. I need it on there so I can give you 5 more seconds. Otherwise, permanent vacation. So, Larry, give you 5 seconds for that, and then we got to go ahead and move on. Okay, Larry has decided to take the night off. Who I got? All right, let me go see if I can get Devontae up here on Zoom. All right, I got Devontae on Zoom here. Devontae, what's on your mind? I'm not interrupting nothing, man. Devontae?
No, man.
Okay, I saw your lady back there on the bed. I'm like, wait a minute. If you got some Lattimore getting ready to play, you can call me back tomorrow night. I don't want to interrupt nothing.
No, I'm just sitting here waiting on my turn.
Pause. All right, go ahead, Devontae.
Oh man, great broadcast tonight, man. Listening what's going on with Caitlyn Clark, man. I just been recently on to you guys, the new Black Media for about over a year now. And I kind of heard you saying in one of your previous casts that you were in the construction field a little bit, and I am too. I'm a union electrician, but I just had a little question and more or less some advice on. I had went to a city hall meeting just this past recently, the zoning board meeting, and like it was a lot of intimidation, little scare tactic things that was going on there, and I'm kind of new to a lot of this. I just turned 28 earlier this year, and I was just been listening to the new Black Media and trying to get my head together. So just was hoping to get some little advice from Jason Black.
What city are you in?
I hear a lot from. I'm out in Kenosha, Wisconsin.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Kyle Rittenhouse territory. Okay. That says a whole lot right there. So definitely, like I say, it's good if you have your credentials. Unions are useful only to an extent because they're really...
Man, I've kind of already been through some BS with the union. I know they're really not there for me.
Yeah,
I'm
they're
just
really only
here to
serving
get
these
my
other
ticket
folks.
and make the little money as I can and get.
Your job is to have your certifications and as much experience as possible, because ultimately the only way you can insulate yourself is to be a contractor. And that's the only way to insulate yourself. As long as you're going through other people, you are vulnerable, and the wider it is, the more vulnerable you are. So that's the direction you're supposed to be going in. What fellas do is they get just enough to go to work for somebody else, and that's really just beginning. You need to make sure that you got your certifications, licenses, if your state has that. I know Texas doesn't, but if your state does, that's the kind of thing you want to have there, because ultimately the only way to insulate yourself is to be a contractor. That's the only way to make sure that you are not dealing with that. The unions they were not made for you. They were made to freeze us out after antebellum slavery was over. And that's really the only thing it's been used for, because if the unions were actually doing what they're supposed to be doing, we wouldn't have any illegals over here working at all. And you got hell of them in Wisconsin.
Man,
so,
I'm waiting on January 20th to come around.
Dude,
man.
it's not going to change.
I worked for a company.
It's only going to change it to a marginal extent. So the unions are made to protect the white fellas' jobs, but they allow in the illegals for the purposes of being a buffer class that dilutes and harms your prospects. So it makes it easy for them. As long as they can keep you low on the totem pole, then they can bring in an illegal to replace you. If you're a contractor, that becomes exponentially more difficult for them to do. So as long as you're at a level still working for them, you're going to be vulnerable. The way that you protect yourself is make sure you have all your licenses and everything else so that you can be a contractor. That's the only way to protect yourself. Anything else, you're vulnerable.
Okay. Now, but as far as like trying to, because I know they say we got to change things locally, and like with me being the only one I'm feeling like I'm the only one in my city that's kind of like really on code.
You might be, which is why I'm telling you, you cannot recognize what you can do and what you can't do. You cannot change. You don't have any control of the rest of the world. You have absolute control over yourself. You want to be a credit to black folk, but more importantly, you want to be a credit to yourself. And that woman back there, you have to put yourself in the best position you can first, because you can't help anybody if you're helpless. You can't help nobody if you're in a jam. So stop thinking globally. You need to think locally. And by locally, I'm talking about in that room, not in that city. That's where you need to build that right there. So that way folk have something to get on code with. There's the other thing. A bunch of helpless folk trying to get together. You have a group of folk, but there's a big group of helpless people. If you're no longer helpless, now you can, at 5 of you can get something done if you're 5 people who are not helpless. But your goal here is not to go to politics first and foremost. Your goal needs to be to make sure you solidify your position. And for what you're doing, what I've given you there before, that's the way you solidify your position. You got to do that first. Otherwise, you can't help anybody because you can't help yourself. But appealing to other folk to help patch that together for you, no. Do not let folk know what you own. Do not go around with your Black First t-shirt on. Do not go around quoting Malcolm X. Do not go around bumping your Louis Farrakhan speeches. Don't do any of them. Don't do any of that. I know it's tempting as hell. Don't do any of that. You play it low key. You go in, get it, and get out. Y'all stop putting targets on your back. You are in no position to start calling hands and starting fights. You're in no position. You can't win. You don't have enough numbers, and I'm talking about economic numbers. This ain't about how big your heart is. This ain't about how big your courage is. If this were a boxing match, you'd be winning every day. But it's not. So you can't think boxing match rules. This ain't about who got the hardest chin and the biggest punch and the toughest jaw and who's most about that life. Well, yeah, but that's why they're not playing that game. Show me which site you went on where they laced y'all's boxing gloves up. Okay. So you have to play it where you actually are, not where you wish you were.
Yeah. I hear you.
Winning here means you got your credentials on you. Stop putting targets on your back. Stop being so highly visible. Get your licenses, get everything else so you can be your own contractor. Play it low key. Don't try to get information, but don't put yourself in no lurch, and don't let folk know that you're on to them. Because if they start getting it in their minds that you see them for what they are, then they start throwing more obstacles in the way. So I think the biggest thing is probably you got a low-key issue. You're not being low-key. And I know man cannot live without respect. I get it. Your reflexive response to disrespect is put a foot up somebody's ass. I get it. Folk talking to you crazy, your reflexive response is to put them in their place, and you're supposed to. I get it. But you have to do those things from a position of strength. You can't do that from a position of weakness, because that's how you end up pushing buggies at Walmart. And it's like, okay, and that's what they want you to do. Because they can't stop you. What they try to do is piss y'all off and make y'all mad so that they can do something to you. They want you to beat yourself. Give them something so they can do that to you. Your job is to make sure you disarm them. So stay about your business, stay focused, know which direction you're going in. You're 28 years old. There's no reason you can't have all that taken care of within the next 24 to 36 months. No reason whatsoever.
I'm already at the end goal, and I've been studying. I'm hoping to pass before my next birthday in the next few months. So it's just, as far as like what you're saying with being out in the open too much, and that's pretty much basically what kind of got me fired from a job.
There you go.
Me listening to the New Black Media and the guy asking me, "What's this?" and me, I'm putting my tinfoil kufi on. I know he went home, looked it up, and then came back, and I was fired the next day.
I need y'all. You can listen to the Black channel, but don't take me to work with you. This is something for you to know, not something for you to speak. For us being on code means we do not let the suspected white supremacists know what you're thinking. You're supposed to go to work, and the only thing you're concerned about is being the best electrician they ever saw. Not the blackest. You give them no clue, no inkling, no nothing. You know why? Because they don't give you none. You got white supremacists all the damn way around you. Ain't nobody telling you nothing. Y'all stop blowing your cover. That's what puts us back. I know you're angry. I know you're upset. I know you don't like that guy. I get it. We've been going through it for centuries. I get it. But the art of war, if you are in a war, and the art of war is making sure you're not being an easy damn target. You know you're a target. I cannot prevent you from being a target, but we can prevent you from being an easy target. Now that we can do. But not if you go out there with your B1 t-shirt on and quoting me. This is like church. You come talk this over here, and when you leave here, take that shirt off. When you go to work, take that shirt off, take that ball cap off, turn that radio off.
Yep.
You're going to blow your cover, because you might not be looking for a fight, but this fight's looking for you. And they look for niggas who are out of pocket, out of line, trying to camouflage themselves. They're looking for you because they know how dangerous you are. They know if they give access, you got to give access to the right ones, because you give access to the wrong one, I'll be damned. It only takes one. That's why they always focus on Michael Jackson, the Oprah Winfrey, or Michael Jordan. It just takes one to be phenomenal, and next thing you know, their grip on power is broken. It's just that easy. So they are hyper vigilant to identify you all. Stop being easy targets. It takes discipline. I know it impacts your masculinity and your pride because as a man, it's against your fiber of your being not to check somebody when they do that because you're biologically, genetically, you're a protector and provider. And you have to tamp that down and let that kind of stuff slide. But I need you to be a smart warrior. You are in a war zone. As Neely Fuller said, you are behind enemy lines, brother.
POW.
You're not on our side facing their army, brother. You way off behind enemy lines. You way off back up in there. And you keep going there every day because you got to. You got to sneak up in there, get you some provisions, and sneak out. Which you can do, but you can't do it if you put a big-ass billboard over your head that says, hey, I'm sneaking into it. You're about to get shot at with arrows. So, brothers, sisters, I know how you're feeling. I've been there. I need y'all to be smart warriors. You are behind enemy lines. Accept it. Stop fighting with it. Stop arguing with it because it ain't going to change it. You're behind enemy lines. Operate like you're behind enemy lines. Act like you're behind enemy lines. You know why? Because that's the way Eminem did over here.
What? Nigga, please. And deal with it.
When they come over here, that's how they act. Every single one. When they come marching over here, they act like they behind enemy lines. We go off over there and stuff. Next thing you know, we start trying to build a damn military base behind enemy lines. It's like, well, no. Jason, we at war. Yeah, but don't build a base over here. It's tempting. Don't do it. Y'all stay low key. Do not blow your cover. Get in, get it, and get out. Make sure they think the same damn thing. Give them no clue and no inkling what you're really thinking. First of all, you should never let people know what you're really thinking about anything, really. But you don't ever go behind enemy lines and let people have the slightest clue what you're thinking. They're supposed to have zero visibility into what you really think or what you really feel. They're not supposed to pick up nothing. They're supposed to be like, man, damn, this radio silence. We can't hear anything. We can't see anything. We don't really know what you're thinking. That's when they start probing you and asking questions. That's when you do like they do. Damn it, you play dumb. What do you think about Kamala Harris? I don't really follow politics like that. Oh, she gonna be XYZ. Oh, really? She is? Oh, okay. Well, you know what I mean? We'll see how it go. Folks, when they ask y'all about politics, you tell them, I don't really follow no politics like that. That's what you tell them. You know why? Because when you ask them about money, they gonna play dumb with you. What? Every black person in here who's ever tried to get the Chamber of Commerce or a white business to start giving you the game, when you go on YouTube, you got hella black folk giving the game on businesses, on financing, on credit cards, on business credit. Even to this day, white folk on YouTube don't make videos breaking that down like that. We're the only ones who divulge that information. They don't do that to this day. You got YouTube, and they don't give up that information now. We're the only ones who really give out the game. And when you go ask them, you get the same response today that I got from that white man 35 years ago. Everybody started talking to me until I asked them where the money came from. Then they all played dumb. Big ass wad of cash sitting in his pocket and he ain't got no money. Well, that's what you do when they start asking you questions. I don't know nothing. Let me go ahead and get Ralston up here on Zoom. All right, Ralston, what's on your mind?
Good evening, Brother Jason. Awesome broadcast today. You know, as you were talking, and how to keep it like low key and don't bring your stuff, don't bring the new black media to work. It reminded me of this conversation my grandfather told me when I was in high school, where he said, I call my first history teacher, and he told me that ancient Egyptians were black, the Moors were black. Great men and women in our past were black, and they don't teach you in the mainstream. And he told me, like, when you go to school, don't bring it up because they're gonna start questioning you. They're gonna say, similar to what you were saying. Oh, is it truly they're not the ancient Egyptians?
Yeah, because that has ramifications. He told you accurately because if you go in non-black companies saying that, The reason why they've created this false white history is because acknowledging the true black one has ramifications. And when you acknowledge and let them know that you're aware of this, brother, by definition, if you are aware of the black history, then you constitute a threat because you also are aware of the consequences of it.
Exactly, and trust me, it's one big plantation. Like it's one big plantation, and you gotta have that mindset where like you pretend that you don't know nothing, but you do know something. You do know something, And with this Caitlyn issue is it's that this is not surprising. It's not surprising to me or to you nor anyone. It's not surprising because there have been white folks in the past that have called things out where it needs to be called out, and they paid a price for it. They paid a heavy price for it, and this is nothing new. And this is just another confirmation is that hey, in order to keep a racial pecking order, you gotta be quiet, and like, don't speak up. So,
well, here's the thing: you don't have to speak up around them. Y'all need to talk to each other. Black people. When we talk about rap and hip hop, we were at the zenith of our power when we talked amongst each other. When we were underground, the closer we are, the more powerful we are. We start spreading out and diluting and bringing every damn thing else. That's when we got weak. And this also goes to our political and social movements. The Panthers didn't get weak until when? You go down the list. Nicky Barnes, Frank Lucas, they got weak when? When they started trying to get too big and bring too many outsiders in. You doing great when you sitting there by yourselves. Can you be honest enough with yourself and confident enough amongst yourselves that y'all are all right being where you are? Or are you going to demand that what you're doing isn't valid unless there's some white folk amongst you? Well, by definition, you're going to have to blow your cover. And you're going to blow your cover and hope for the best. No, you do this talk around other black folk. That's where you do this. And even then, be selective of who you talk to. You talk amongst your people about this. You have no business whatsoever discussing the pyramids among non-black folk. What are you doing? You have no business whatsoever discussing black entrepreneurship among non-black folk. What the hell are you doing? You have no business discussing our historical context among non-black folk. What the hell are you doing? White folk don't come to you and do that. What? You ain't seen a single white person come up to you and start talking about Irish history. Talking about the Italian market in Philadelphia. I've been there many times. Didn't have a single white person walk up to me asking me about it. Wanting to discuss it with me, to get my validation, to find out what I think. To appraise me of their history of it. To find out, hey, if you didn't know, XYZ happened. Man, if you can't read those damn historical plaques there at the Italian market in Philadelphia, Montrose, Christians, stand up. If you can't read them damn plaques, ain't nobody coming up to you talking nothing. And I've been to the places over there, the Brothers Place. I've been to Anthony's Chocolates. I've been to all them places up over there. Ain't nobody, and for the ones who did talk to me, brother, they ain't inviting us into nothing. We sitting up here trying to invite every damn body. They're not discussing our history with us. I've been to every Chinatown in this country, with the sole exception of San Francisco. That's the only one I haven't been to. Brother, ain't nobody walked up and asked me nothing. Nobody wanted to discuss Buddha, anything. Nobody wanted to discuss Tao, Chi, nothing. Okay, so how is it all these other folk don't need to discuss that with us, but we got to discuss us with them? Brother, they don't even speak the language that we understand. There's a whole lot of talking going on when you go to Chinatown. There's a lot of talking going on. They're not talking to you. We need to get comfortable talking to ourselves. This idea that the conversation ain't valid unless we're talking to other people. The hell it ain't. The most important conversation you can have is with your people. We're always looking to get somebody else to snuggle up with us. No wonder they don't take us seriously as power brokers. Because that's not power. Power starts with amongst yourselves. You be okay having this conversation with yourself. That's what I just told the young man got off the phone. He needs to talk to old girl who's back there on the bed. Pause. But he needs to talk to her. He needs to talk to the men in that room I didn't see any other fellas in the room, y'all. I'm just saying, I don't know what they're doing. But my point is that y'all talk to yourselves. No, you don't need to talk to anybody else. No, you don't. No, you don't. Stop doing that. You don't even have to, you don't have to give them Black history to get a loan. To get a loan, financing, anything like that. If it does come down to that, you ain't got to talk to them about that. You talk about the business and that's it. You don't talk about your personal views. I ain't got no personal views. What do you think about Kamala Harris? Cut the check, sir. What do you think about Joe Biden? I think that as soon as you sign this loan, I think the sooner we get that done, the better. I can't really tell you about Joe Biden, but I can definitely tell you about the APR. That's how y'all do that. What do you think about Malcolm X? Is he the loan officer? Is he the president of the bank? Oh, he's not? And I don't think nothing. No, I really don't. I ain't bringing it up. That's not really my thing, Jack. That's not really my thing. That's what y'all tell them. Folk bring up stuff. That's not really my thing. What's your thing? My thing is making money. That's my thing. Don't add nothing to it. Don't think you got to keep on talking. Cut it short. My thing's making money. Where do I sign? Make an awkward moment. Yeah, my thing's making money. Where do I sign? Just like that. Do you need something to drink? No, I'll sit right here. Just when you get the paperwork, bring it on over here to me. That's how you show folk you about business. I signed a bunch of paperwork for a bunch of money right there and stuff. I don't get in no personal conversations. The only personal conversations I have with them is about them. Let me correct that. I will have personal conversations with them, but only about them. Ain't gonna be nothing personal about me. We're not gonna get into that. If they do ask me something like that, I'm gonna turn it right back around to them. Yeah, this is about them. Oh, you ever had the chicks up here and buy one of them cars before? You ever had them do that? Oh, yeah. What did she say when you got that APR on you? Y'all go listen to that interview that Mac 10 did with DJ Vlad. Y'all want a good master's course on that? Go watch that interview that Mac 10 did with DJ Vlad. Every time Vlad started asking them Fed questions, see how Mac 10 handled it. Stop talking to them folks, y'all. Talk to your people. That's all you got to do, sir. Talk to your people. Y'all focus on that. Everybody else, if it ain't about money, why are we having this conversation? Because they don't talk to you unless they're getting paid to do it. If you think about that for a few moments, who's the last white person who invited themselves into your company who wasn't getting paid to talk to you? Oh, so in other words, they only come talk to you when they got something to sell. Catch a clue, folks. Catch a clue. I'll let you have the last word.
Yeah, you're right, Brother Jason. We gotta talk to one another, you know. We gotta, as he just said, you know, it's reminding me, it's reminding me of, I'm in university now, so, you know, we have people from different backgrounds, but here's the thing though, there's tons of Asians in my school, and they talk amongst each other in their own language, all that. So we need to start doing that. So that's all I'm going to say. Thank you for the broadcast, and peace, and be one.
Thank you very much for giving this call tonight. I want you all to operate among everybody, interact among everyone. Look, there's a reason I can talk about Vanessa Carlton and, you know, Bonnie Raitt and Phil Collins. And I can talk to you about Alice in Chains and Disturbed and Pearl Jam. I know who Katy Perry is. I couldn't name, the only song I can name is I Think I Kissed a Girl, but I know who she is. Okay, be able to operate among everyone, converse among everyone, talk to everyone, but you stay focused. In the words of our brother Neely Fuller, you don't get confused. Don't get confused. Learn how to operate among everyone, interact among everyone, be the person folk come to, and you can talk to them, and you're not the fish out of water. You want to be that, but don't get confused. When you talk with an agenda. Don't get confused. That's how you come out on top, is when you're not confused. Too many folk get out here and get confused and get lost in the sauce, and next thing you know, you hung yourself out to dry because you said too much. You listen to how these folks talk to you when we come around. That's why I told him, he said, I'm in a school full of Asians, and they're not even trying to talk to him. Now they will when they got something to sell. When they got something to sell, then they're going to be up in your face. Meanwhile, you sitting up here trying to make small talk around the water cooler. And them same folk don't talk to you unless they got something to sell. I want you to be personable with people and be able to interact with people. That's great. But your focus needs to be on what's the agenda. The agenda is small talk. Okay, I don't like this agenda. Because the only thing small talk can lead you to do is talk too much. Talking for the sake of small talk is talking for the sake of talking. The only thing you can do with small talk is say something you shouldn't say. You get straight to the agenda, whatever that agenda may be. Get straight to that so that there is no wasted verbiage and you're not throwing information out there that they don't need to know. Let me go ahead and get MB up here on Zoom. Let me see if I can get MB up here on Zoom. That's a new skill for a lot of black folk. Black folk ain't used. When they get white folks' attention, they want to keep their attention. That's why black folk keep talking when white folks show up. They get their attention and they're like, okay, let me hold his attention. If I stop talking, he may get up and walk away. Let him walk away. Hey, all right, MB, we got you on Zoom. What's on your mind, brother?
Hey, big bro. This is a great broadcast here. You kind of derailed my train of thought here because a couple of calls ago when you basically switched up on basically how we got to keep code by basically not getting ourselves off at workplace. That's a damn good pivot here since I work with other folks here in the office environment. So this topic change of sorts is a good reminder for some of us who got us to reminded that we got to keep making the bread, but watch what we say because especially for those of us who's like the only black person that's not security or janitorial help or anything. It's like it's a good reminder. Like I gotta be low key or whatever. This is a good reminder, a good switch up for that, man. I kind of almost forgot the other points I was going to make regarding Caitlyn or music, but I will say actually, now I'm thinking about it. The one thing about Eminem, I actually don't have big problem with Eminem, but my whole thing about it, some folks.
I don't have any problem with him, but go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, my thing with him is more so the fact that some folks gas up on the fact that, Eminem is like the first. People saying like, he's so influential, and it's like Eminem's not even the first of his kind. Like, my thing is the one archetype of Eminem that was before him that I knew of. Before I knew Eminem was his brother, God bless his soul, Chino XL. Like, you talking about a fast rapper that had a witty wordplay and all that. That was Chino XL all day, man. That was
well, you make a very good point here. When Vanilla Ice came out, they tried to ram him down our damn throats. They was trying to call him the greatest ever, and I'm like that when he came out. They were trying to ram him down our damn throats. When Third Base came out, they didn't do that with them. Now, this is a key difference. I'm so glad you brought this up. The machine and the media didn't try to ram Third Base down our throats. They didn't try to make Search and Pete Nice the best ever or declare to us that they were the greatest rappers ever. So they tried to tell us Vanilla Ice was the greatest ever, tried to ram it down our throats. We kicked that back. Third Base, they got a little bit of traction, a little bit of respect. Next thing we know, here comes Eminem. They back to the ramming it down our throats again. So I'm glad you brought it up. That gives me an opportunity to make out a key point there. They tried to ram them down our throats. So there's a reason why we received other folks differently. If they had not tried to do that with Eminem, he'd probably have a little bit more traction and respect than he currently does. The problem is, once we see that you are connected to the machine, we can't unsee that. It doesn't matter how great you are or whatever. I can see this big ass machine behind you. And I see this cord going from the back of your head to this machine. Okay, yeah, I mean, he might have a rhyme here or whatever. I can't help but notice the machine behind you, though. You're part of that machine. Okay, well, yeah, nice song and everything for a machine kid. So, I mean, it is what it is at this point. That's the way it is. I don't have anything against Eminem. I don't have anything against Marshall Mathers. I'm not here to down him. I never said that he's not a good rhymer. I never said he doesn't have any talent for. I never said that. And I'm never going to say that. But what I'm saying is what you putting on. Don't put no extras on it. Stop trying to, don't sit up here and tell me this is the greatest ever, because that's machine talk.
Yeah.
The soil did not designate Marshall Mathers like that. The soil acknowledged him here or there at a rap battle or something. The soil never said he was the greatest nothing. The machine said that. I'm rejecting all that machine babble. I'm not going to listen to machine babble. Leave it where it is. I'll let you have the last word.
Yeah, man, that's true word right there. And I got no much more to say. And like I've seen the chat here, giving big ups to Chino XO, RIP to Chino. And that's pretty much it for me, big bro, B1.
Thank you very much for giving us a call tonight. Yeah, like I said, I don't have anything against Eminem. I have nothing against Eminem. What I am saying is just don't put no extras on it. Because they don't put extras on us. You got people to this day. Remember, this upset a bunch of us when Aaliyah died. Entertainment Weekly or whatever talking about she was a rising star. Wait a minute, how many albums you got to sell before you're finally a star? Because they never said that Britney Spears was a rising star before she lost her authority and her dad had to take over her life. She's a star. When you're white, you're a star. You make one hit song, you're a star. You're not a rising anything, aspiring anything. You don't become that unless you die. But Aaliyah, talking about she was a rising star. And then decades later, we're hearing that about Mary J. Blige, rising star. Jill Scott, rising star. How the hell you been making albums for almost 2 damn decades and you're a rising star in a white publication? You're a rising star. How many times do you have to go platinum for how many years before you're no longer a rising star at these white publications? And the short answer is, well, when you become white, because privilege and all that. So if you're black, that's how they prevent calling you a star and acknowledging your actual position. Oh, you're not a star, you're a rising star. Really? I'm outselling all of your white artists and I've been doing it longer. You're a rising star. That's the privilege that we've been referring to. And by the way, they're very well aware of all this, which is why they hate for us to be sitting here acknowledging ourselves. All right, let me go ahead and get over here on Zoom. I think I got Brother Elijah over here on Zoom. Brother Elijah, what's on your mind?
Hey, what's going on, big brother? All right. All right, big brother. I'm not so surprised about this whole Caitlyn Clark. It's just that I'm a little wary of it due to the simple fact: what would she really been saying if she won those 2 championships?
I mean, I think she would be saying much the same thing. And here's the reason why. The reason why is because Caitlyn Clark doesn't play with Megyn Kelly and the rest of the Twitter idiots. She doesn't play with them. She plays with these folk out there on that court. Those are the people she got to live with. Those are the folks she got to be around. So what they've taught her is respect, is what they've taught her.
Yes, sir.
That's why the rest of these folk don't like that. You see, when that happened, you see, Jackie Robinson, understand something. They were okay. They never, Megyn Kelly and them would never tell Jackie Robinson to talk like this. Why Jackie Robinson getting batteries thrown at him and rocks thrown at him and stuff out there. Oh, you supposed to keep your head down and be humble and rise above it. Megyn Kelly would be congratulating Jackie Robinson and any other black person in a position where they're not comfortable. She wouldn't be criticizing them for that and saying, you don't have to thank them white folk for anything. You don't have to bend the knee to them. So if it was Jackie Robinson, that's what she'd be saying.
Right.
She'd be saying, you're doing a great job. Don't let them get you down. You be bigger than that. Conquer your enemies with love. That's what she'd be saying. It's a white person now. All of a sudden, the energy's totally different. Ain't no forgive. Megan ain't hitting us with the forgive, and shut up and play basketball. She ain't hitting us with that. Ain't that amazing? So the very stuff that they sit up here and try to badger you and bully you into doing and responding with, all of a sudden that's not acceptable when you tell them, okay, I need you to go ahead and keep your head down and be humble and be a team player and big up everybody and you just play bad there now. All of a sudden that's not the right response.
Right.
It ain't that amazing. They're not giving her any of the Negro advice. Matter of fact, they're condemning her for it. The exact same thing that they tell black folk to say when something happens to us, they're condemning Caitlyn Clark for saying it.
Right. You know, to your point with Jackie Robinson, you know, it's funny. It's funny with the whole. They'll tell Jackie Robinson, and look how MLB honored him. Instead of fulfilling his wishes when he spoke them before he died, look what they turned around and do. He wanted more black managers in the Major League Baseball. They replaced everybody, even all the black American players, with nothing but Hispanics. So he was really honored.
Like I say here, man, they know what they're doing. It's not accidental. They understand optics. And the optics of a white female that they christened to be their white hope, that she was going to be the colonizer. That's the word I've been looking for tonight. Caitlyn Clark was supposed to colonize the WNBA.
Right.
She was supposed to claim this land for Europe. She was supposed to be unapologetically white. In the middle of all these black women, she was never going to put no big points on the board. They were basically going to say that she would have been much better if she hadn't been bullied. Now, you notice they never said that about black players. They've never said that about a single black player ever. That they would have been much better and gotten a whole lot more done if they hadn't been bullied all the time. With Caitlyn Clark, you can see what this media strategy was going to be. Megyn Kelly and the rest of the white supremacists were going to say that she was the greatest female basketball player ever if she hadn't been bullied. If everybody else wasn't against her. Yeah, her numbers weren't great, but everybody was against her. That's the argument that they've been trying to prepare. She would have had the most points ever if the rest of you weren't against her. She was supposed to be here to colonize it, and they just watched their colonial dreams go up in smoke. Take a look at all the years they invested in pumping her up. Brother, it takes time to make a Caitlyn Clark. It takes time to make one. You can't, easy bake one overnight. It takes time to make one. And they just watched that. Let me tell y'all what's really going to upset them. Oh, y'all, when Caitlyn Clark shows up at one of these damn games with Tank or Lexington Steele, what? I don't know who it's going to be. But she show up at one of these damn NBA, one of these games with a black boyfriend, I'm just letting y'all know right now. Oh, if she show up with Zion Williamson, y'all, you want to talk about, I'm talking about apoplectic in the street. They're going to be laying in the middle of the street just screaming. Oh, if she show up for one of these games with a black dude, that right there would have been it. That would be it. It would be mass aneurysms. Coast to coast, brother. It's just, they'd be selling aspirin and Ozempic. The prescriptions for aspirin and Ozempic go off the damn charts. All she needs to do is show up with a black man, and they're going to drum her out the sport then. Oh, the white media outlets, the rest of them, they are going to declare that she needs to be kicked out of the league. Right then, right there, no discussion needed. That's it. She walk up in there with a black dude, done. Dude, that's it. Mm-hmm. Forget about it. Oh, yeah, and they will get it done. And they'll get it done. They'll declare she got to go, and they will get her up out of there. Here, get you and that nigga you came with. Both of y'all can hop back on your electric scooter and get the hell on out of here. I'll let you have the last word.
Hey, brother, to your point with Eminem, I think the best way I can articulate Eminem, I think he's the best white rapper of all time. But to say that he's the best rapper, no, I'm speaking like, he's amongst his white peers. Yeah, he's the longest one who lasted, because I was bumping him when I was 14 years old back in late 1998. But to say he's the best of all time to ever do it, you can't. I don't know who's saying that, because
The Machine. MTV was the ones I remember starting that garbage line. So
Right.
that tells you that's what they're there to sell, for the purposes of divorcing us from what we made. For example, y'all remember CM Punk has that song, his walking out song in the WWE is by In Living Color, Cult of Personality. And
Sounds familiar.
yeah, his song is Cult of Personality, and there's a reason for that. There's a reason for that because, for that song, for those of you who don't know among musicians, I don't want to get too off in the woods with that, but you all can go Google this kind of thing if you want to. With guitars and whatnot, that's what they call hammer-ons, hammer-offs.
Right.
That song, Cult of Personality, uses that. You can't play that song without knowing how to do hammer on and off. So you all can go look up what that is, but there's a reason why all your rock stations and whatnot have always played that song. These were a group of black musicians, but they took this very seriously, as we always do.
Right.
So for those of you who don't know about guitars and how to play them and whatnot, there's a reason why rock guitarists and whatnot respect In Living Color. Even though they only had one real song everybody knows of, they're like, by the way, did you hear what they did in that song? Did you hear that? So for folks who don't play guitar, you don't quite know what it is, you can go YouTube or whatever, you'll find a whole bunch of stuff in it. And what I'm saying is, that's the kind of thing that matters there.
Yes,
that's
sir.
the kind of thing that makes a difference. That gets respect from the ground up, because that's something that not a whole lot of folk can do. You can't really name anything that Eminem does that everybody else can't do.
No, of course not.
And I'm not saying that to be bad or whatever. I'm just saying that you're gonna start talking about the greatest ever. The problem is when y'all start astroturfing it.
Big brother, I want to add a question, because this is very important. We have a lot of mumble mouth rappers today. I'm sorry to say, wouldn't it be I would rather bump some Eminem than to hear a mumble mouth rapper. Wouldn't you say that?
All right, boys. I got a choice between Eminem and a mumble mouth rapper. Talk about the devil in the deep blue sea.
Right.
But look, the bottom line is, I'm not going to tell folk what they should like or what they shouldn't like. What I am going to say, though, is that if we're going to be objective, one of the things I'm going to listen for is, okay, MTV shows up. This is the machine. It fabricates results. That's why we got a problem with bots today. Okay, let's take it to the street. Let's take it to the street. Let's take it to the people, and let's see where we hear this. Has Eminem ever got the club jumping? Has Eminem ever got the street moving? Have y'all ever had the block party and niggas demanded to hear Eminem? That's the kind of thing I'm saying. So what I'm saying is, okay, if that's not occurring, I need to know why. Because I can go to any rock concert anywhere and turn on In Living Color. That's the reason I brought that up. I can go to any rock event anywhere and turn on In Living Color, and that's going to immediately get respect. That's going to get respect from the street. I can go to any rock concert anywhere and turn on Seven Dust. What? For the folk who don't know, I can turn on Seven Dust anywhere, and that's going to get respect from the street. No MTV required. No bots required. No Billboard magazine to rig a poll required. You turn it on, that's going to get respect from the people.
No.
And what I'm saying is, I give him what he is due. Don't take anything from him that he's earned. I've never said that. That ain't right. That's not just. Don't take anything that he's earned from him. That's why I said, okay, if you're going to get that bag, okay, get that bag, but let's be honest how we got it. I'm not going to take the bag from him. If he earned it, I mean, you got it. You got that. His white privilege did it. Okay, well, all right. Let's acknowledge what it is. But okay, don't take nothing from him, but don't add nothing to him that's not real neither, because that means you're taking from us. Right. The only way you can give him something that doesn't belong to him, you had to have taken it from one of us or all of us together. Give him what he's due. No more, no less.
That's right.
That's just. And nobody has a problem with that except somebody who's trying to steal something from you. Now, that's the only person who has a problem with just give him what he's earned. No. Give him more than that. Okay, you're trying to steal.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for giving us a call tonight. Give him what he's earned. No issues, no problem, no hate. I got no problem with that at all, because we can compete with anybody. Give him what he's earned. But all this extras y'all throwing on it, come on now. I mean, just to keep it all the way real, I don't know how you listen to Eminem and then listen to Tech Nine and there's a dispute. Dispute where? What are you talking about? I don't know how you listen to Tech Nine and then listen to Eminem and you can't see who the ruler is here? Okay. All right. Whatever, man. Whatever. Let me go ahead and see if I can get JP here on Zoom. All right, JP. Go ahead and unmute yourself, sir. Oh, JP is looking around like he's looking for the feds. Unmute yourself, sir. Oh, y'all, he's looking at the camera for this newfangled technology. I hit the button here to tell him to unmute himself. He is not looking. He's not watching. He gonna be mad as a son of a gun when you go back and hear this later. Oh, he's looking around all crazy. Oh, it's gonna be tough on him. Why does JP look like a younger Tyrese? He looks like a bald Warren Sapp. He's got his earphones on his forehead, not even on his ears. All right, y'all. JP, you're going to have to call us back later, bro. He put his earphones on his forehead, y'all. I'm like, okay, he didn't even make that part right. I thought he was putting on his earphones so he could hear me. They went straight to his forehead. I said, okay, this doesn't end well. Let me go ahead and see if I can get Jonas up here on Zoom. Jonas. Let me go ahead and see if I can get Jonas up here on Zoom. All right, Jonas, I can give you 5 seconds here on Zoom. I'm waiting for Jonas. Can't wait all night, though. Can't wait on Jonas all night. All right, Jonas, I can give you 5 seconds here to go ahead and turn your camera and your microphone on for me. Otherwise, I got to move on, Jonas. All right, y'all. So Jonas is going to join us some other time when they can follow directions. So Jonas, that's not a nifty little suggestion. When I say turn the thing on, you got to turn the thing on. You got to turn the thing on. Let me go ahead and check over here on Super Chat right quick. By the way, shout out to everyone who's contributed to tonight's program on Super Chat. We appreciate that there. My man, Sir Chai, Seven Swan. She's been a member for a little bit here. Shy Citizen said, Twista doesn't have half the reach of Eminem and still being featured on Gen Z artist albums. He was just on Joyner Lucas's album. I still know people who rock slow jams and Adrenaline Rush. Like I say, man, we can name names. Twista, Supernatural. You know, there's a bunch of names we can name. I ain't going to get like MF Doom or something like that, but just the cats who really you can see where Eminem got that from. When you talk about Twista and Supernatural and some of them folk like that, come on, man. Come on. How the hell they got leapfrogged over? Because you were not what Jimmy Iovine was looking for. Shy here to my man Grind Time said, don't get confused. Thank you very much for your support on the Super Chat there. Shout out to Mark B., Mr. Richburg, Darius, Walter, and everyone else here tonight. Folks, there's a lesson to be learned. There's a lesson to be learned. White privilege is alive and well. These folk have been at their job now that they think they got the wind at their backs. They are now going to demand that they have their white privilege, and no one is allowed to acknowledge its existence. How dare you acknowledge its existence? So this is why I spent tonight's program showing you all example after example and how you can very easily find examples. Don't let anybody tell you it doesn't exist. They want you to say it doesn't exist so that they can continue business as usual. Remember, the first step to dismantling something bad is to acknowledge that it exists. Now that you acknowledge it exists and you won't be moved off of it, it has no choice but to move and go away now. Once you acknowledge something exists, there's nothing else you can do except do something about it. Something bad exists, something bad is standing up over there. It's like, oh, the only thing left to do is to get rid of you. Let me go ahead and get Huey here on Zoom. Huey, what's on your mind?
Not much, Brother Black. I just want to ask you something about the whole Caitlyn Clark situation. I noticed that she's been very silent, especially when things were coming out against, the African-American basketball players, especially Angel Reese and everything else. I think that she was aware of basically all the racial tensions, but she didn't say anything because she was trying to get her money. And I think once when she got her money up, a lot of it, she went to Europe, and then after that, she just dropped that bombshell of a truth to piss off her white supremacist constituents. I just want your opinion on that.
Look, everybody knows these are the conversations that go on around the dinner table, that go on at their grandpapa's house, that goes on at the auntie's house. This is the normal. I just played Bill Maher saying that. Bill Maher said most black folk think that most white folk are racist, or at least that these kind of conversations are going on. Yeah, we know they are. You can't have, let me go ahead and redirect y'all to y'all screens one more time, which is why I showed y'all this before. When you go to Twitter and type in Caitlyn Clark woke, you can't have this avalanche of people descending on her like this if this isn't the way that they conduct themselves and speak on a daily basis. You're not going to have an avalanche like this. You all go to Twitter and type in Caitlyn Clark woke, and you're going to get an avalanche of results. Yeah, because this is what the conversation really is. While they're trying to bully you into saying, no, that's not what really happens. Well, I don't think it's really that bad. There's a few people, no, it's not. This is the average. This is typical. This is what goes on. And Caitlyn Clark, as a young white female, has been hearing this her whole life. Remember what Brother Neely Fuller taught us. Brother Neely Fuller taught us that, you can't have people being on code if they don't know what the code is. You can't have this many millions of people in this country all responding the same way. You can't have that unless they've all had the same indoctrination. And they're telling you there is no indoctrination. Well, if there is no indoctrination, why are you all responding the same way? All you people from all these disparate backgrounds and all these different places, but when this happens, you're all responding the same way. You're using the same words, and you give just the same weird explanations. How can that be unless you all are being given the same indoctrination? You must all be having the same conversations around the dinner table, at Thanksgiving, at the family reunion, at your church, after school. This is what goes on when we are not around. They debrief their sons and their daughters to remind them what the way things supposed to be. That's what happens all the time. That is how they learn what being on code is, because after they told all those things, they're all told the same thing at the end. Now, don't tell them Negroes that. Don't let them know you can't say this to them. You get branded a traitor, not because you lied, but because you dared to tell the truth in our company. That, yeah, what you black folk think, yeah, that's what's going on. Yeah, I'm here. Now you're a traitor. Because you see, you've got credibility. It works both ways. It's not real unless a white person says it. Okay, well, she's a quote, accomplished white person. She's got no reason to lie to you. You've already given her everything. So if she's saying this and she's saying, oh, yes, I've lived this. This is what's really going on. Brother, how are they going to argue with that? They're not in the WNBA. They can't argue with that. So they gave her this credibility, and this is what she used it for. To say, by the way, there's white privilege. Oh, hell no, you're public enemy number one. This is treason. Please understand, in the white supremacist society, this is high treason. Being a John Brown? Oh, no. They are angrier with her than they are with us. They expect us to be problematic. She's a white woman. How dare you turn on? They're angrier with her than they are with any of us. They really upset with her. It's like, oh, you out of pocket. We have to make an example out of you so this doesn't repeat itself. So look for that to happen next. They're going to try to make an example out of her so this doesn't repeat itself. I'm predicting it won't work because it's not like they got a whole bunch of options. You basically stuck with her. If they keep messing with her, mark my words, brother, if they keep messing with her, all the black females are going to rally around her and she going to get her a black boyfriend and get her damn hair some twists.
Oh, no.
Mark my words. That's why you see these folks. Let me go ahead and show this on get back here on Twitter, y'all. For those of you who ain't looking at your phones right now, you can see it. They're already gearing themselves up. Where's the picture of that thing? They're already gearing themselves up for it. Yeah. They're already making little pictures and stuff. Now she's going to be purple haired and Black Lives Matter tattooed on her. They're already getting ready for that because they're like, oh, hell. We know how this goes. If they keep messing with her, the black women are going to rally around her. Then she's going to be at the damn picnic and the barbecue and she going to get her a black boyfriend. And at that point, it's a total loss. Total loss. Because even if she flips later in life and starts doing MAGA stuff, it ain't gonna matter. When she was relevant and people were paying attention, what did she do? You gonna wait till your career is over to start repping Team Whites? Oh, no. We gave you these accolades so you could rep us when it mattered. Mark my words, if they keep messing with her, she's gonna get a black boyfriend. Just to show them, you know how it goes, brother. When you start trying to push on people and trying to make them do what you want them to do, they start doing the opposite. So if they try to force this white thing on her, she's going to be like, man, screw y'all. I make my money with black women. I make my money in a black league with black women. I ain't got to do a damn thing you say. As a matter of fact, let me go on this damn black sexual adventure. Let me do that right quick. While I'm still out here young and got flat abs, let me go on this sexual adventure right quick. Because you know how it is, brother. Them white girls go to a club. It don't matter what she look like. She going to pull something. So it's some NBA player somewhere he might not stick his head out the limousine. He'll stick his hand out. Come here. So she knows she's going to get something. So if they keep messing with her, she's going to pull a rebellion move. Especially if she's a young white female. And white dudes ain't really checking for her to be sexy. They're checking for her for athletics, but she's not really a sex symbol. So she's got every reason to go rebellious on him. Every reason. And if it goes down like that, oh, mark my words. They keep pushing her and she gonna say, oh, I'm gonna give you something to be upset about. I'm gonna give y'all something to be real mad about. I'll let you have the last word.
Nah, man, you hit the nail on the coffin, man. I love to see these white supremacists when they buy their daughters some Caitlyn Clark jersey. They gonna be fuming. They want to burn up her jersey.
Dude, she gonna be like what, Iggy Azalea with Playboy Cardi? Okay, I'm just telling y'all, brother. You know how it go. You keep pushing them, and she gonna be with a damn Playboy Cardi and a Travis Scott. She gonna go back to back. If these white men keep pushing at her, she gonna be like, look here, I know what's gonna drive you crazy. Think about these black men grabbing my ankles. They gonna go insane with it. They're going to go in, especially if she starts playing better. Oh, that would be killer. If she get a black boyfriend and starts playing better, man, y'all thought they went nuts with Heidi Klum. They still mad at us about that. You thought they went nuts with Heidi Klum. Oh, dude, it's going to be World War III out here. Oh, it's going to be awful. If she gets a black boyfriend and starts playing better, oh, forget. They're going to start blacklisting her. Stephen A. Smith, they're going to bring up a name. It's going to be awful. It's going to get real weird. This is going to be like the reverse Rachel Dolezal. Things are going to get real. Everybody should be talking about her, but nobody's mentioning her. It's just going to be real weird.
All right, brother, man, you are the truth. I love your broadcast, man. Keep waking up our folks, man. Be one, brother.
Be one, brother. Thank you very much for giving us a call. Now, yeah, y'all, like I say, boy. Oh, man. They keep messing with this little girl. She gonna fool around. Start dating a nigga look like Project Pat. What? Oh, she gonna get a nigga look like Matumbo. She gonna try to get the biggest, blackest thing she can find. Oh, she's gonna try to get the biggest, blackest thing she can find. Just because she knows she gonna piss him off. Yes, sir. She gonna just Project Pat. Was it Crunchy Black? Who's that? 3-6 Mafia? Give somebody look like Crunchy Black. Remember like Brigitte Nielsen and Flavor Flav? Oh, white men were done with Brigitte after that. They were like, okay, maybe we can resurrect her. And they saw Brigitte with Flavor Flav. They're like, oh, hell no. Oh, straight to the trash bin. You're done. Ain't nobody trying to follow up behind Flavor Flav. They don't give a damn what done happened to Brigitte. Baby, ain't none of us following up behind Flavor Flav. None. There's not a white man in America who's looking to follow up behind that act. They gonna mess with Caitlyn Clark too damn much. Hey, y'all, they gonna mess with Caitlyn Clark too damn much. She's gonna go get the Kim Kardashian treatment. Damn. Mark my words. I want y'all to bookmark this program tonight. Hey, y'all, folk want to make fun of her and this, that, and the other, and she ain't all that cute and everything. Y'all look here. She gonna fool around and talk to Khloe Kardashian one too many times. She gonna talk to Khloe Kardashian. I'm serious in every word I'm saying right now. She gonna go get a BBL. She's gonna go get some lip implants and a BBL. Oh, she plans on being banging on that next centerfold they gonna do. She gonna mess around and talk to Khloe Kardashian, and Khloe's gonna be like, I know about 5 or 6 doctors who can fix this. No, I'm not joking. And what I'm saying is think Iggy Azalea. So she's gonna go off, get lip injections, get a hairline, get a BBL, and then she gonna go get the biggest, blackest dude with the biggest gold chain. This nigga sitting on 28s. She gonna try to outdo Angel Reese. If she ever tries to go for a glow up, she's gonna try to outdo Angel Reese. Let me get the biggest, blackest dude with the most swag. Y'all know it'll be an ASAP Rocky. Y'all know full well there's an ASAP Rocky or Travis Scott. There's one of them niggas out there somewhere. He'll answer her DMs. You can say you won't, but you know damn well there's a Lil Wayne. Have you seen some of the females Wayne was with? Damn. There's a Lil Wayne, there's an ASAP Rocky, there's something out there, there's a 21 Savage, there's something that'll answer her DMs. If she's sliding his DMs, one of them gonna say yes. One of them is gonna respond. Everybody else might leave her on unread, but one of them gonna respond. If they keep messing with her at her age, with as much runway as she got in front of her, I'm just telling you right now, I'm not joking. She gonna get with a black fella who gonna tell her, you know what, you got enough money to fix all this damn androgyny you got going on here. He gonna insist that she get that fixed up. Next thing you know, she's gonna have the Kim Kardashian. Hey, how many of y'all remember what Kim looked like before she started rolling with rappers? Damn. Remember, her family was broke. Okay, do I gotta remind y'all, credit cards were bouncing, remember? Kim Kardashian and them, before that sex video came out and they could parlay that, remember? They were getting sued by, who was that, Chase or American Express for tens of thousands of dollars, remember? For those of you who forgot, before they got famous and got with Kanye West, remember they were getting sued. You can go Google this. They were getting sued for tens of thousands of dollars. They was flat ass broke. Before some of these rappers had some charity on them and said, okay, let me finance you a BBL. Let me finance you some implants. Hey, let's get this nose done and these lips done, this forehead done, these eyes done, these cheeks done. This chick's the bionic woman. So what I'm telling you is, man, you think Dr. Miami done closed up shop? If they keep messing with Caitlyn, watch her double down. Especially if she starts getting shine for it. Why? Because she's going to be thinking about what life is going to be like after the WNBA. She starts getting shine for it. Mark my words. Mark my words. Some of y'all think I'm joking. I'm not joking. We already saw what the plastic surgeon did for a whole family over there with the Kardashians. Just saying. Folks gonna be mad. They're gonna be upset. It's gonna be a hell of a basketball season for them next year. They already done gave her the money, so they got to come back. They got to come back, and watching them go crazy over this is just going to be delicious to watch. It's going to be delicious to watch. Highly entertaining. Hope you all learned something here from the nice program. If you are new here to the Black Channel, welcome to the Haven of Intelligent Black Thought. We do this every weekend. Click that red subscribe button. Click that yellow notification bell. Join us each and every time that we're here. If you haven't been to our website, blackchannelfilms.com, go and check out our groundbreaking best-selling documentary work, blackchannelfilms.com. That is blackchannelfilms.com. I want to thank everyone who has contributed to support tonight's program on PayPal, Super Chat, Venmo. Thank you all for watching in live or recorded. Thank you for liking, subscribing, and sharing. And this concludes tonight's broadcast of the Black Channel. I am your host, your brother, your humble servant, the Black Authority. And until next time, my brothers and my sisters from around the world, remember, black is the future, and the future is uncompromising.